Boom, boom. Oh, it does work. The fuck?
History is written by the victor. History is filled with liars. If he lives and we die, his truth becomes written. You told a Glock, that bitch your face. You don't want smoke, get out my face. You niggas ain't rapping, such a disgrace. That boy stay capping, need a cage. Can't walk this darkness in my place. I got cold white inside my veins. You niggas ain't rapping, such a disgrace. That boy stay capping, need a cage. You told a Glock, that bitch your face. You don't want smoke, get out my face. You niggas ain't rapping, such a disgrace. That boy stay capping, need a cage. Can't walk this darkness in my place. I got cold white inside my veins. You niggas ain't rapping, such a disgrace. That boy stay capping, need a cage. Don't fuck with lanes, don't fuck with facts. Don't care about bitches and distraction. My bank account, another transaction. We count them digits and subtract it. Don't fuck with lanes, don't fuck with facts. Don't care about bitches and distraction. My bank account, another transaction. We caught that nigga, send him packing. Yeah, we send it, niggas packing. Don't give a fuck about the past. He hit the pavement, now he napping. You need some shit, just tap, tap, tap it. Just know your role and play your part. You're all talk and you're all bar. We see the loser in your heart, so please stop acting like you're smart. We left that loser in a ditch. That's what you get for talking shit. These niggas talking tough for Twitter, but I know you're full of it. Talking about slime, talking about gang. Nigga, you do not have no click. Nigga trying to say I make a mad, but boy, you really make me sick. You told a Glock, that bitch your face. You don't want smoke, get out my face. You niggas ain't rapping, such a disgrace. That boy stay capping, need a cage. Can't walk this darkness in my place. I got cold white inside my veins. You niggas ain't rapping, such a disgrace. That boy stay capping, need a cage. You told a Glock, that bitch your face. You don't want smoke, get out my face. You niggas ain't rapping, such a disgrace. That boy stay capping, need a cage. Can't walk this darkness in my place. I got cold white inside my veins. You niggas ain't rapping, such a disgrace. That boy stay capping, need a cage. Don't fuck with lanes, don't fuck with facts. Don't care about bitches and distraction. My bank account, another transaction. We count them digits and subtract it. Don't fuck with lanes, don't fuck with facts. Don't care about bitches and distraction. My bank account, another transaction. We caught that nigga, send him packing. History is written by the victor. History is filled with liars. If he lives and we die, his truth becomes written. You told a Glock, that bitch your face. You don't want smoke, get out my face. You niggas ain't rapping, such a disgrace. That boy stay capping, need a cage. Can't walk this darkness in my place. I got cold white inside my veins. You niggas ain't rapping, such a disgrace. That boy stay capping, need a cage. You told a Glock, that bitch your face. You don't want smoke, get out my face. You niggas ain't rapping, such a disgrace. That boy stay capping, need a cage. Can't walk this darkness in my place. I got cold white inside my veins. You niggas ain't rapping, such a disgrace. That boy stay capping, need a cage. Don't fuck with lanes, don't fuck with facts. Don't care about bitches and distraction. My bank account, another transaction. We count them digits and subtract it. Don't fuck with lanes, don't fuck with facts. Don't care about bitches and distraction. My bank account, another transaction. We caught that nigga, send him packing. Yeah, we send it, niggas packing. Don't give a fuck about the past. He hit the pavement, now he napping. You need some shit, just tap, tap, tap it. Just know your role and play your part. You're all talk and you're all bar. We see the loser in your heart, so please stop acting like you're smart. We left that loser in a ditch. That's what you get for talking shit. These niggas talking tough for Twitter, but I know you're full of it. Talking about slime, talking about gang. Nigga, you do not have no click. Nigga trying to say I make a mad, but boy, you really make me sick. You told a Glock, that bitch your face. You don't want smoke, get out my face. You niggas ain't rapping, such a disgrace. That boy stay capping, need a cage. Can't walk this darkness in my.
Yeah, I'm like right where they're about to do the match against the team that just beat Inashiro with the dude that's seems low key violent pitcher.
Okay.
That's like right where I'm at, like before that match.
You're about to see some greatness. But I mean, if you have any extra thoughts since then, or any new thoughts, what's up?
I guess if there was only any new thoughts, yeah, I see the concern, the like, not yeah, maybe concern might be the right word, but the in like initial thought of like where like it shows like the cracks in Mayuki's ability to be a captain. with him like misinterpreting the lack of communication on side of the one dude who's not good, but he went to go scout for the match against Inashiro on the one team. And he's like, "Oh, you're gonna quit," and he was like, Loki kind of dogging him, and he was like, "Oh, if you're gonna quit, just quit." And like the other second years got on his ass about it. Like
Mhm.
that's like kind of like presumptuous of you for like, especially for someone who's not. They didn't say like you didn't have. It's not that you not tried and practiced and you don't put in the effort, but like you're also naturally gifted.
It's
So
you
your
don't
viewpoint
as
isn't the same.
his perspective is different because he doesn't have to fight for a position. He's the best catcher on the team,
Yeah.
and he has the highest IQ of baseball on the team. He's not constantly like vying and fighting and performing every day in practice to start as catcher. Maybe
Yes.
when Chris was there, things were different, but as it stands now, it's not like that. So he doesn't really understand. So yeah,
Yeah.
with Nabe, because Nabe was the one scouting, getting the information, and writing down everything. I know what you're talking about. I remember that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was just unfortunate, I guess. But
And then there was the moment with Sawamura where he was watching tape, and then I think it was other first years. He was like, "Oh, Sawamura, you're kind of like I can't remember the exact wording, but it was something along the lines of like you're a good role model, or like you kind of like the way in which like you're kind of like enthusiastic about it, like it makes us feel good and stuff, and like feel like that we could do better." And I think for me that more reinforces my own personal idea of like I think Sawamura would be a good captain. Like he is a good connector piece for everybody. Like he gets like everybody together, and like
it's
his pitching is good,
yeah,
but like it works well in tandem with teammates because he also his pitching works well to get a hit off into an automatic out.
yeah.
Well,
He
Fourier
jams,
is
he
just
jams them.
yeah. While Fourier is Mister Fastball strikeout man.
Mhm. Um, yeah, I think Sawamura will make a good captain from the standpoint that he's upbeat, he's high spirited, he's constantly motivating people, and he's like yelling, and like that's a way of keeping team morale very high. The biggest problem that I would have with at this point where you are, his baseball IQ is too low.
Yes.
So I wouldn't. But like let's just say by his third year, I could see him being captain.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
wouldn't. It
This
wouldn't
would
be.
be
It wouldn't
projections.
be.
Yeah.
I wouldn't find it crazy if Miyuki said that the person who's best fit to be captain would like later on in his would be Sawamura down the line. It wouldn't shock me
Hmm.
because Miyuki doesn't have the natural captain disposition in the sense that he's not somebody who really wants to light a fire under everyone's ass like that. And I understand. I understand that he's more concerned about lighting a fire under his pitcher as part of a battery. That's different. But to get everybody clicking on all cylinders, that's not something that he would necessarily is naturally disposed to do. So, but I do think Yuki made the right choice nominating him. He was the best choice because he has the highest baseball IQ on the team by far. It was just that at least at that moment, his batting just was not off to snuff. Because remember, he always needed like somebody on base, or else he fucked up. So, and then Yuki was
Yeah.
very much a captain that just leads by example, by doing the hard work and just kind of like performing at a high level, and then people follow suit as a result of that. There's different ways to lead a sports team. There's no one size fits all. So Salmora could
Very,
could do
very
it.
true.
Could do it. You can
Very
be
true.
Jordan. You can just yell. Or you could be LeBron, and you can have like team dinners and stuff like that. Like there isn't one way to do it. I
Very.
the older I got, what I started to do was I just treated people based on their personality. So if I know I could rip you a new asshole and you'll take it in stride and you'll be okay, I'll rip you a new asshole. If I know you're somebody, I have to be like, hey, Miles, I really need you to make sure you control the ball well and send a good cross in. Like, I'll talk to you all buddy nice and put my hand around you. I just went case by case. The older I got, that's what I did.
Yeah. Like, I think for me, when I was captain junior and senior year for track, it's like I'll give like I'm like a I'll try to at least do the necessary general work, but like anything outside's more on you. But like if there's any questions you'll have, I'll always do my best to help those that come asking for help, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's like I'll do my basic requirements, but like if there's any extra stuff that you need working on form or blocks or anything else, I'll give you as much time as you need if you ask.
I will not.
That's kinda how it was.
I will not. If anyone was like, I need extra help in practice, it's like, what's that got to do with me? I'm going home. Figure that out. No, you can talk to me. Like you can talk to me, come to me. But if it's like, I wanna spend an extra half an hour swinging these bats, I'm like, you better spend a half an hour by yourself swinging that bat. I got shit to do, boy. But goodbye. I was not staying later than I had to. No, sorry, Bob. That much I'll say I wasn't good with. Like, um, yeah, when practice is over, I'm going home. You would not see me out there swinging that bat a million times more. It's not doing all that. Sorry, but yeah, there's different types of leaders in this, so it go
Yeah.
but I
I
also think it shows you that like different type of aces, different type of leaders, different type of captains, different positions. But I do think that a lot of time they end up making the catcher the captain. I think that's pretty common in this series, if I remember correctly. But sometimes you're just Yuki. You're just nice
uh,
at the bat. You're just nice.
it is I'm trying to think of who the best captain I've seen so far is.
Well, I know who it is, but I
Hmm.
can't say it yet. You wait till you're caught up. But I know who it is. I know my favorite's still Yuki.
Man.
I don't mind players who just lead by example. That's fine. It doesn't bother me. Because I remember there's one point where they were training with the coach, and he was doing like, "Come on, you guys tired?" And he kept hitting the ball, and he kept hitting it, and everyone was tired. And after he's like, "What's wrong, Tetsu? Are you done?" Then he's the first one to get up, and he's like, "No, please send one more ball." And then that invigorates everybody else to get back up for a second
Yeah.
win. Like that moves me. I'm okay with that. You know how to be yell. You have to yell rah rah and beat everyone's ass all the time. That I don't require that. I don't think you need to be that type of leader. So
Yuki is very good. Even though I don't think we saw enough from the captain of Inashiro, they did a very good job of showing how vital he was because we really feel the after effects of his like absence.
because Harada is May's senior, and as a
Yeah.
result of that and his personality, he can keep him in check. So that's one part. Two, he's a good catcher and a great battery with May, right? And the battery and he's like a Miyuki type catcher where like he reads the game well, so his baseball IQ is high. Plus, he's the cleanup hitter, number 4, and the captain.
Yeah.
Losing him was actually extremely detrimental to Inashiro's entire team. That's a big, big hole, as you saw. So I actually really like that.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this series is different, bro.
Um
It's the one.
I did I saw some of the anime clips too.
Oh,
Uh
what'd you watch?
I s- I saw them bring out the trumpets going crazy when you came up.
Nice.
They
It's
had
sick to hear,
the
right?
they had the trumpets out. They had the cheerleaders going.
You love to see it.
I'm like, oh, he different. And then I was also looking at compilations of fucking Sour Morge yelling, yo, sure, sure, sure.
Hush, hush, hush. There you go. You probably got to hear the osh, osh, osh. Yeah.
Oh, and everybody, it's just funny just seeing the like transition of it, where everybody's like,
Mm,
shut the fuck up. Oh,
mhm.
he's not saying it. Oh yeah, he's saying it. Let's go.
Nah, I told you. I
Uh,
told you. I told you have to hear it sometimes. It's sick
that
to
shit's
hear. Yeah.
funny.
So yeah. No, I couldn't. I couldn't get everybody today. Like right now, because like I'm not like we could do the stream later, but I'm not. I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed later. I'm not staying up late. So we're doing Dinoise. Yep, it is peak sports. That is a fact. But oh, sorry, I was looking at Twitter because I was Alcamana Panda. I think he tweeted, we need Hunter back. I'm like, no, the fuck we don't. We don't need that. We don't need that shit back, bro. It's okay.
Or the chapters are already not coming out.
I think he's been announced that he was like done for a while. I think that was like
How many
last year.
chapters came out? Like
I think of
six?
I think of volumes worth. I don't know though. I don't know.
Dang, they were getting hyped for that. All right.
I have no clue. Couldn't tell y'all.
Yeah, ain't nobody got time for that. We
Mhm.
got real manga out. Real,
I was
real
I was even
storytelling.
saying yesterday, like, imagine waking up and feeling and feeling this obligation to like have to like read and engage with One Piece. Like, bro, I woke up when I read JoJo Lands. Like, I'm good. Like, are you guys stupid? Give a fuck about that pirate manga right now. It does not move me at all. Just not. Just don't care. And you
Eh,
know how I know that I'm not even crazy? Yo, I heard Pat say this. Pat said Hogwarts Legacy came out at the right time because Oda's not moving me with Egghead. I'm ready to leave. And I said, if I have never heard
that's
Pat say
not
that
feeling
shit.
it. Oh yeah, that's all I
I've,
needed to know.
I've never heard Pat say that shit before. Now, he didn't rip it a new asshole or anything, but he was just like, nah, bro, I'm not feeling it.
One of
I'm
my friends is really enjoying Egghead, but I'm like, it's one of those weird things because he's also like a very critical person. I'm like, I think the only reason why you're feeling this about One Piece is because you're a new reader. I guarantee you, based off your personality, if you read it like earlier, like any of us, you would be having huge difficulties. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because there's just such a distinct difference between like new readers and old readers.
Yeah, I feel it. In the middle of exercising, but I came to say that Dino Gold is the peak. It is. It is. But I gotta kick Miles so I can actually talk about it because he's not caught up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, uh,
Um,
uh,
I will. I
Peace.
mean, when I'm done, I'll let you know if you want to call back and talk bullshit. But I
All
do
right.
got a couple things I want to cover, so
All
we'll
right.
hop into it.
I said my, I mean, I said my little,
All right.
10 minute piece.
All
All
right, do
right.
your thing. I'm good, Mikey. I hope you're having a good day too. All right, let's talk about some Dino Ace, because as you guys know, I caught up to Act Two and finished it off. Doing my little vanishing act, my little Houdini act. So I caught up to it. You think May? Shout out to May's your king. May's not my favorite pitcher, but I think he's the best pitcher in the series. And I have a hot take, I guess. I don't think Hongo's the second best pitcher in the series. I think it's Amahisa, but we'll talk. We'll talk. First thing I want to talk to you guys about real quick is something that I kind of picked up. I kind of picked up through the grapevine. So I haven't actually followed the ancillary stuff that comes with this series. So what like the actual mangaka, like what he was doing, his like work ethic, and like I didn't follow that at the time. I kind of just read the manga for what it is, so I just know the content. Apparently, and I've seen this in a lot of threads in a lot of places, even in some comment sections and some forums. I have not fact checked this for. I have not been able to like find an official statement that I trust, so I take this with a grain of salt. But apparently, when he was first pitching this manga, like the baseball manga, when he was trying to get it off the ground and do his one shots or whatever. Raichi was supposed to be the MC and Yakushi was supposed to be the main school. Sawamura and Sato, I think Sawamura was supposed to be on the team, but Raichi was supposed to be the main character. And I actually think that makes sense. Intuitively, based on what I see in the narrative, those two are the most similar to me. They're very similar where they laugh a lot. They're very loud. They make dumb mistakes, but they're very talented at a specific thing. Sawamura's pitching, batting for Raichi. So I was like, that makes sense to me. And Yakushi, as far as I'm concerned, is like the other team that's not Inashiro that gets the most sunlight, like shine, like spotlight on them. So yeah. You said either Mei Hongo. You say definitely it's a hot take. I think that Amahisa in that last game against Sato proved to me that he is top three. I'm not like if you think Hongo's better, I'm not gonna be like, oh, you're stupid. I'm like, bro, Amahisa is right up there with them. He's at worst the third best pitcher in the series as far as I'm concerned. I'm not calling Hongo a bum, and I know May is nice. But Amahisa is just up there with them. He proved that to me. When he started throwing his slutter, first of all, the first time he threw that and they drew the gyro spinning, I said, "What the did he just throw? That's clean." I love that panel. Nah, bro, he's good. He's good. You gotta give him credit. You gotta give him credit. But what do you guys think about the idea of Raichi being the main character? Now, obviously, this means a lot to me because as much as I love Sawamura, he's in my top three. My favorite character is Raichi. So like I have this inclination that I might like the series just a tad bit more, or it could be just equally as interesting, if not more interesting, if we did follow Yakushi and whatnot. Because I find that maybe with his dad being the coach, Raizo, and them like trying to get making his bats his money tree and stuff. I feel like we could have added a extra level of family dynamic that could have been interesting. Not that Saramora's family is completely divorced from the story. He obviously starts off there. He cares about his hometown and home people, and every once in a while, his dad and his mom and his grandpa come to watch the games, and it's very entertaining when they come through. But I was just thinking, like, it would be sick, and the same way that Sawamura slowly earned the respect of his school and his teammates and his peers, Raichi did the same thing. Do you remember at one point they're like, "That's the same Raichi," because Raichi's pretty quiet and timid in class, doesn't really say anything. And then when a lot of the schools first saw them play, especially at a Koshien, right? They were like, "Yo," to the point that now when he's on, they get hyped. They get hyped. They're like, "Yo, he's gonna beat it out the park." The same way, like the crowd reacts to Sawamura very personally because they've seen him grow from his first year to now. Where like if he ends up walking the first person, that's par for the course. They know he usually starts the game a little too tense, and then he has to do his deep breathing, right? So there's I love that, man. It's good. So my favorite five characters, and you guys can share yours if you're in the comment. No one's saying anything, but if you guys are there, if you could give me your top five characters, you don't have to go in order. My favorite characters being Todoroki Raichi, Tetsuyuki, Agent Sawamura, Harichi Kominato, Mishima Yuta. Mishima is the other guy from Yakushi. He's supposed to be Raichi's best friend. He has the weird eyelashes and he has the laugh, and he wants to be the cleanup hitter and the ace. That guy, I love him. I think he's hilarious. And then my favorite pitcher, I'm not saying he's the best pitcher. Listen carefully. My favorite pitcher being Mukai Tayo. So Mukai is like I have him at sixth. I have to make a top 10. I have to think about four more that I like. But I've always liked Sawamura's comments on Haruchi, where he's like, "That's the man that I trust, the man that I put my faith in, the dark angel." Blah blah. Like, bro, why do me and you have the exact same opinion of Haru? Like, I trust that nigga. I trust him. I trust him to deliver. I trust him to have the goods. I like and when he's batting, whether he's pinch hitting, he needs to connect it to the third. To the third, he needs to connect it so Miyuki can go up the bat. I trust him. I'm not saying he always succeeds, but I believe in him every time. And I think that him and wow, what's his name again? Whatever, Cheetah Boy, Cheetah. Um, they're they're a better keys. They're the best Keystone combo that I've seen. And I think they're better than the older brother was. I think they ended up being a better Keystone combo. So I'm highly impressed with them. They're super dope. They're super dope. As for what else did I want to talk about? Okay, so I want to talk about underrated a character that I think is underrated, and I have an interesting overrated character, but bear with me. Zono is the character that grew on me the most. I had no expectations, no hopes, no beliefs, no dreams, no nothing. I'm like, Zono is just not it, bro. I don't believe in him. I don't like him. I don't think he's nice. I think he's stupid. I like his energy though. But I found that in times where I kind of dismissed him, he always was the one that to kind of prove me wrong. Like essentially anytime I'm like he's not getting on base, always gonna strike out. He didn't. Because I think he was the pull hitter, if I remember correctly, all the time, where he was always good at hitting to like his dominant hand or whatever the case may be. I'm not a baseball guy. I don't know all the terms, but he grew on me. Zono is the character that I was like, nah, he's not the one, and he grew on me. My overrated character is Furia. But listen, just listen. Furia is not bad. Furia is nice. Furia is a fucking monster. I just think he gets a little bit too much credit. I do. First of all, towards the end of Act Two, his fastball isn't demonstratively better than everyone else's because Hongo and May consistently throw at 150 and 150 plus. And I think there was one guy with glasses on one team that did a personal best about 150, and I think Sawamura's fastball's in the 140s. Now I know every kilometer matters. I'm not trying to downplay that, but they do the thing where they like how his ball's alive and it makes you like wanna like hit it or whatever. And this guy always like still has no stamina. He just pitches all out of control and just kind of like the one thing that Sawamura ended up getting as he developed as a pitcher was control. He had good kid like he can't control like some of the random breaks that it has. But if Miyuki's like pitch it here, there came a point during Act Two that he consistently, I would say 75% and plus of the time, would can pitch exactly where Miyuki wants it and hardly made mistakes. The couple of times that he didn't make the mistake was the first time he started at ace, he crumbled under the pressure. Hanba did the same thing, and May and Fudi had moments where they tried to shoulder too much because they believed that as the ace they had to do the most, so they crumbled under that pressure. Salmore did that, and then at the very end, when he had the same injury as Nori a little bit, the like inflammation in the muscle tendon or whatever, he threw a couple of bad ones, but ultimately he's been really solid since he developed his numbers and started to really improve after his mental breakdown of playing bad and having Furia go like nuclear during Senbatsu, or Koshien, whatever. So I just wanted to mention that. But I actually think Sawamura is probably around the fifth best pitcher. This might seem weird, but I still think Furia is a better pitcher than him, probably. But I think Sawamura has more variety in how he deals with you. um Furia is gonna throw, I think, a vertical slider breaking ball, or he's throwing a fastball. That's all he's got. Sawamura has his fastball. He has his custom fastball, his cutter. He has his changeup. He has his just one. I think I'm forgetting one more. Then the fact that he still has the weird southpaw. They don't always see his arm. He has that weird flexibility in his wrist that make his pitches kind of whatever. Like I think because he has so many ways he can deal with you. There's a lot of situations where he's better than Furia, but I'd probably say Furia is better. But Salmura also started to improve at his batting by taking that like I think they call it, did they call it switch hit bunt form or something like that? But and obviously he's really good at bunting. But I want a point where he can kind of consistently actually hit the ball pretty far or hit the ball where it lands somewhere and he can get on base. So that was that was super dope. Sorry, let me just read this text message real quick. So yeah. Um. Okay. So what do I want to go to next? So yeah, Furia is my overrated character and underrated character is Zono. If you want to know characters I just never liked at all for any reason, and I say or maybe just stayed kind of indifferent on, like I never believed in Tanba. I'm sorry, Tanba never moved me. Never believed in him. He was never that guy to me. I apologize. Nori is the same. The sidearm pitcher on Sato, he doesn't move me. I don't. I respect his comments at the end of the series where he's like, "Hey man, I'm not good like you guys. Like this is the peak of baseball for me. I don't plan on playing baseball post high school. I can't go pro. I would rather like ruin my the rest of my baseball career, but get a chance to pitch in these games and go to Koshien." And I can respect that. I think as an adult, if I was the coach, no matter what, I would have said the right thing. Like, nah, bro, you can't do that. Don't do that to yourself. But if I was the captain, I probably been like, all right, what's up, Pat? I'd probably
Da,
yeah.
da, 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 da,
Mm,
da, 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 da,
mm,
da, 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 da,
mm,
da, 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 da,
mm.
da, 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 da.
Goat.
Da-da-da-da.
That's what I need every time I go to like
What's up,
kick a
man?
penalty or something. I need someone to play that. Take a I don't a free kick, whatever. Yo, start
Nah,
playing my
that's
theme
so
song.
fire, man.
Could you
They come up
like
to bat and they got a theme song.
you couldn't do that to me? My ego will go out the stratosphere. I'd be like, I'll be doing my deep breath like Tom Moore, like they're cheering for me to my deep breaths. Mm, but yeah, let me run back a couple of things I went through just to get your opinion on it. Then we can keep going though.
Okay.
So I don't know if you have seen this or heard this. I said it in the chat real quick, but I kept seeing comments that apparently when well, give me the mangaka's name again. Sorry, it's not coming to me right now.
It's
No, no,
Terajima.
yeah, there we go. When he was trying to get it off the ground and get it like this one shots or whatever, Raichi was the MC, and Yakushi was the main school. Sawamura, I think, still existed from what I can see, but
I
I
I
couldn't.
saying something like that.
I couldn't find any official source like cementing that's the truth, so I'm not saying it is. So perhaps I'm wrong, and perhaps it is wrong. But intuitively, that didn't feel wrong to me because I'm like they're very similar. Like they're loudmouths with a specialty. One's batting, one's pitching. They're kind of bad at baseball aside from
Mm-hmm.
that and have to get better at it and make really dumb mistakes. And they earn the respect of their peers all around them slowly but surely when they saw them perform at the highest level. Where the crowd used to always kind of laugh and dismiss or not care about Sawamura, but as slowly but surely they started to actually like him, play into his gags, and say, there's the speech. Or, like or I remember the first time he really hit it and got on base and they were like, whoa. The crowd was like, "Whoa, he got on base." He's like, What's that reaction?" Like, I remember right. He's actually quiet. He's actually pretty shy. He's pretty introverted. He's like aside from baseball and facing really good pitchers, he don't talk like that. And eventually, his school's like, "That's the same Raichi." And then when he used to go up to bat, his own school used to get hype after they saw him at Senbatsu. So I was like, "Look, like I see the similarity. Like they're actually very similar." So I was like, that didn't feel crazy to me. But what do you think about that? In the sense that like would it be
Um,
better, worse, the same? I only say that because obviously I'm invested because you guys know Raichi's my favorite character. So I'm like, I would like to see that. But I have this weird portion in my head that I'm like, what if we ran to Sawamura in a similar way we ran to Raichi? I wonder if I would have ended up liking Sawamura more. So, but anyways, go ahead.
yeah, it's hard to call because Raichi is also my top 5 favorite characters in Daiya, but
Mhm.
Samura is like that's like my son, man. Like his antics drive me up a wall. Like it got to a point where the third years are like extremely cool, and I
Yeah.
like all of them, but I was just strictly watching Daya so I could be like, "What's Samura gonna do today?" Like I was like, "What's he gonna surprise me with?" Like I didn't even care about baseball. I was just like, "What kind of antics do you have in store for me?"
I feel that. I respect that. No, because he's I've very rarely have I just seen a main character such a bundle of joy and fun to just follow all the time. Like I really root for that man because I always say this right.
Yep.
I actually have a tremendous amount of respect for Furia, but I'm never hyped when he goes to the mound. When Sawamura goes to the mound, I get excited. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Like Furia's
Completely.
nice. I want those fastballs be moving me. Don't get it twisted. He's good. He's a monster for real. But it's just not the same when he takes it. Like when Salmore takes it, I'm like, yes, look at my like you said, look at my son, look at my boy going up there, you know? So it's
Mm-hmm.
just it's just one of those situations. And then I really think that in Act Two, he really, really hit his stride. He really got better after getting past the psychological stuff he was dealing with and he started to practice his numbers. I'm like, they've always said that because of the way his wrists are, he can't always control the breaks of the ball, but his control in terms of pitching to where Miyuki wants it actually got good. I can't say for Furia it ever got good. It's just it depends on whatever mood he's in. You never know what how he's feeling. He's still gonna pitch the ball way too high a lot of the times and walk people. Where there came a point Samura actually stopped doing that. There was the first time as an ace. Yes, he completely crumbled
Yeah.
under the pressure. Then at the very end, when he got the same a little the same I guess tendon injury that Nori got, he kind of messed up a couple of pitches in that last game. But to get the Koshien, but other than that, he really didn't really mess up very often. And I was like, look at him, though. His control's nice. And his fastballs in the 140s, yo, watch out. Watch out. It's creeping up.
Yeah.
Watch out.
I felt like Samura turned the corner that time that they played Ichidai in the spring
Mhm.
when everybody was just like acting all woe is me. And Samura was like, bro, the game is not fucking over. Pick your goddamn heads up and
Yep.
let's get back into this shit. And he came on the pitch and started pitching like a beast. And he
Yep.
came off the mound and the coach hugged him and was like, "You saved me." I'm like, bro.
He's like,
Excuse me?
I remember. I think he was
I'm
also
not
like,
gonna lie to y'all,
I'm sorry for putting you in that situation. He's like, don't apologize. Went up the bat and he hit it and he got on base. I was like, look at him. Sorry, go ahead.
bro. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I shed a tear when I saw that moment. I'm like, bro, it's like anime is just so special to me
Yeah.
because it was like seeing a baby mature. I'm like, bro, he's got to the point where he could put the team on his back now. Like
Yep.
I remember when they would put him out there, and he had the benefit of all these veterans surrounding him. So even if he messed up a little bit, they would cover his back. Now he's the one doing that for them.
Yep. Because you remember, I remember if that's the same game, I remember the moment, but if it's the same game I'm thinking about, I remember them being frustrated because they're like, bro, he is pitching his ass off and we're not scoring. We're failing him. And they were
Yep.
pissed off at themselves. And I'm like,
Yep.
look at this. Look at the switch up. It's so beautiful. It took a while. It was Foodie and no Ace for like 300 chapters, but we are here. I'm here for this. I was so moved, bro. I was so moved. I'm like, I finally won. I've been waiting for days like this. You could relief. You could be relief, bro. I don't need you on there. I need my boy Salamura on there. So yeah, I feel that. That was a beautiful moment. Um, could you, if you don't have to go in order, but do you have on like kind of on hand your favorite 5 characters? If you do have them on hand, so mine are Raichi,
Favorite 5 characters.
Tatsuyuki, yeah, Sawamura third, Haruchi fourth, Mishima Yuta from Yakushi at fifth, and then I got Mukai at sixth. Those are my I did six, but yeah, Mukai's my favorite pitcher. He's not
Mishima?
the best pitcher. Mishima Yuta is the guy with the weird eyelashes from Raichi's
No,
team. That last
I know
Fuahaha.
Mishima. I know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think he's funny. He makes me laugh. I like him. That's my second
he
favorite
is
school
very
though.
funny. I like when
I mean, that's my favorite
the
school though. Sorry. Yeah.
the whole crowd they call him Miss Shima. That
Yeah.
shit is so
Yes.
funny
Yes.
to
Yes.
me.
He's like, that's Raichi's best friend. He's like, bro, what? Raizo kills me too. Raichi's dad is funny too. So, Sanada's one of my favorite characters as well. Like, I just like that school a lot. That school moves me. So, that's the school I would play for. Yakushi. Just find me there. But yeah, go ahead you don't have to go in order, but if you have 5.
Upset.
Mhm.
Um, so number one, obviously, is Salmon, of course.
Mhm.
It's the GOAT. Salmon, no ace around here 24/7. Um, number two is Miyuki. He just
I respect that.
he just does it all. He does it all, man. I've never counted on Miyuki and then he failed me. It's never happened. Um, number three,
You can say that's
probably
as
Yuki
captain for sure.
Tetsuya.
But initially, maybe sometimes I'm like, bro, get on base. Go ahead though. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, when niggas not on base, he was useless.
Yeah.
uh, honestly, at number four, I'll probably have to say May. And I really didn't like May at first, but
Hmm.
then it came to a point where I just had so much respect for him.
I think.
Because at first I thought he was just like aloof and arrogant, and then
Mhm,
I saw the way he was acting like in the moments by himself. I'm like, no, this nigga really takes the game seriously. I
mhm.
could always respect the competitive spirit like that.
Yeah, he's a monster. I
Like
I
the
I think he's really good. I think he's the best pitcher in the series. I think I finally had to. I think the moment where I felt like I had to admit that, like, yo, he's truly nice, is when he faced a USA team, and they're like, bro, that nigga is nice, and I'm like, damn. American said it. All right. All right. Okay. All right. I guess. Cause that loss hurt me, bro. There's no sports manga loss that hurt me more than that year with the third years in Ishiro. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I was crushed. I was broken. I just never forgave them.
yeah,
That's really what it was. So I respect that though. May's good, man.
I was
He's a
gonna
king.
say that I feel like my respect for him came when during that game actually
Mhm.
when he pitched to Yuki and like how he was taking Yuki seriously the whole game and everybody else was just kind of like 80%. But when he pitched to him and Yuki hit a double off his shit and he was like, "Okay, all right, he got me." And then he went back to the dugout and he was furious. Like this man was about to have a breakdown. He was over there screaming, throwing a glove.
he was
So I
pissed.
was like, okay.
He has a lot of pride in that, and he has like egoism. He has the egoism that I can respect. I really do think he's dope. He's good.
Hmm.
He's scary, man. Cause man, I want
And
Inashira was looking unbeatable for a second. They were looking unbeatable.
dog, what
Fuck,
he did to Yagashi and them, I couldn't believe my eyes.
I was sick.
I
I
couldn't believe this shit.
I was sick. I was extra hurt. I said, no way, not like this. I need Act 3. I was
Nah,
like,
bro.
I need
That
Act
nigga,
3.
that nigga said, if you've forgotten, allow me to remind you. I'm still the king, little nigga. I was
Yep.
like, oh shit. He shut him out.
And Sanada and them are not like they're good batters, and Sanada's not trash, but Jesus, levels. Is
Hmm.
that 5 for you or is that 4? I don't remember.
That's four. For five, five is hard. There's a lot of characters in the series
Mhm.
that I really, really like. Um, I might have to go with Sanada
I'm not mad at that. That's a great choice. He's I
because
love that.
he's
I love him.
so fucking clutch.
Yep. Yep. Even Rise was
Like,
like, remember when he came back to practice and Rise was like, oh my god, he's back. Thank God. Rise was my favorite. Is my favorite coach. He makes me laugh because he's just like someone's fucking dad on the team. Just like, hey man, we out here. That's like very realistic to me. That's this is a Al Matter, blah blah blah. Like, whatever, man. Like it's someone's dad being a coach. Like that's how I knew it was. It's someone's pops just being a coach. So I love that team so fucking much. Sana does that nigga though.
yeah.
Um,
I was gonna say, for anybody that like follows sports like that, being clutch is like on the paramount of things that's important, no matter what sport you're playing. And to just have someone like that that rises to the occasion, I'd be
mm,
watching him like, dog, if he was on my team, man,
mhm.
like it wouldn't matter what the situation is. We got this nigga, we still got a chance to win.
You'll always play with the belief to win. You'll never get demoralized. Essentially, yeah. He has that effect. He's really good. I was gonna ask
Hmm.
you what your thoughts on Haruchi is because I was saying earlier what really kills me about Sawamura's comments on him is that like I be thinking the same shit. Where he's like, "That's Haru. That's the man that I put my faith in," and I'm like, honestly, yeah. Like I just everything I've liked Haru from the first time he went there with his wooden bat and he hit that shit. I said pinch hitter, he nice. He was 3 for 3 the first year or whatever, like 1,000 at bat. I said he's nice. I love that kid. Him and Cheetah Boy, I don't remember his name, but Cheetah, they're the best Keystone combo I've seen. I love them. They're great.
Oh, yo, hey.
Yeah, they go crazy. Kuramochi, that was his name. Kuramochi. Yeah, he goes crazy. But yeah, I
Hmm.
love Haru. Haru's always been one of my favorites. And then when he cut his hair and he got more like his
I
brother for.
like that. Hmm.
No, go ahead. That's
I
all I was
like
gonna
that.
say.
In the beginning, you know, he was trying to follow his brother's footsteps, and Real was like, he got more talent than I do, and you nice, but hey, this shit ain't sweet. So they had the little 2-a-day practice, and
Yeah.
then in the morning he was all catching up in them, and then doing fine and dandy. It was exhausted. It was like, oh, we not done yet.
Yep.
So I like that. He had to come to terms with the realism of like what he was trying to reach because he thought it was just gonna be able to catch up with his brother all willy nilly, and he was like, "Nah, little nigga, you gotta go through some trials." And he rose to the occasion. I fuck with that.
Yeah. He didn't back away. He didn't shy
They
away
was
from
putting
it.
him in as pinch hitter.
Then we came number 2.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
another one. Like anytime he bats, I'm always expecting him to get a hit,
I'm
no
about to say. I'm
matter
about to say
what.
the same thing. Like I'm shocked when he
Haruichi don't get
doesn't.
on base, it's gonna be a
Yeah.
bad day.
Yeah. I'm shocked.
Yeah.
I'm really shocked because that I've seen the bat break and he still gets on base. Like he's different. Like I love that. I love him. So what's like okay, so I got an interesting question for you. First of all, if you
Mm.
had to yourself kind of not rank but like just speak about like the people that you think were like the best leaders and captains on their team, who comes to mind to you? Because the question, what I'm
The
going to lead
best
into eventually is
leaders.
who do you think should be the captain? If let's say we get to Act Three and it's Sawamura Furia's year, who would you have be captain? That's what. But I want. But before that, I want to know who you would like who are your favorite leaders? Like Miyuki, was it Haruda, and like who like Tetsu. So I can go first if you want. Mine's
There's a
Tetsu.
lot of different.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. I I was just gonna say it's a lot of different leading styles
That's
when
exactly
it
what I was telling
comes to
Miles. Yeah.
Daiya no Ace that I really appreciate. Because Yuki is the lead by example type. He
Yep.
don't say a lot. He lets his play do the talking, and he's always somebody that they can depend on. Uh, I would say Harada is like the person that gets everybody in line. Make sure you focus. I really appreciate that kind of leading style the most because,
Yep.
like, sometimes you do need somebody that's like gonna tell you, like, "Hey, you need to get this shit together," without being overbearing. Um, Miyuki, I would say, was like a hybrid of that. Like, he's very easygoing and fun to get along with, but when it comes to baseball, he takes that shit very seriously,
Hmm.
and he also leads by example. Because, like, sometimes Furio would be hard headed. He'd be like, "Bro, if you're not going to pitch where I tell you, get the fuck out of here."
Yeah. Yep, you did to Samura once too. It's like, bro,
And he
you're
does it
gonna.
with Samura,
It's like,
too.
oh, you want to pitch by yourself? All right, go ahead. He's just like, all right, my bad, my bad. They're like, all right, they're like, Ryuki, please. They'd be like, oh shit. Uh, fuck, they funny. They'd be like, oh shoot, because he's one of those people like if he's upset, you goof. Because he's not really maliciously angry like
Yeah.
that. He's a shit disturber and he's a smart aleck, but he's not really like a I'm pissed off type of person like that. That's not really how he is. Because I don't think he's a
Hmm.
natural leader. I don't think he's a bad leader. He actually, a lot of ways, reminds me of myself in terms of like to me, he comes across as a reluctant leader. Like
Yeah, he's a reluctant leader. Hmm.
yeah, like in terms of keeping his pitchers in check because they have to form a battery, and he knows that these guys are very emotional and their control can go wild at a moment's notice because of their emotions and whatnot. He keeps them. He like he said he leads them a certain type of way. But that's kind of like his job naturally on the baseball team. To have to light a fire under everyone's ass and keep morale and spirits high and yell and give those type of speeches were not something that I think were naturally in his disposition. And he wasn't even a transcendent batter. He wasn't like the worst batter, but he wasn't great, and he had to work on all those things. And then he eventually became the captain that could actually lead that team. And just like Haruda, he filled so many roles that were so important, which is why I'm very interested to see Sato the next year because one thing I loved about what they did with this manga, I really think Inashiro had a huge void when Haruda left because he was the cleanup, he was the catcher,
Yes.
and
Yes.
he was the captain. That's a lot to lose in 1 year. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, fuck. So the fact that they lost in that tournament and it came back even stronger, I love that, and I really think that made sense. So you calling him one of the best leaders, I agree with that. Yuki, like you said, you just did exactly what I told Miles. Lead by example. He's not gonna talk and yell and rah rah blah blah blah. But when the coach is hitting all these balls and everyone's getting tired, he goes, "What's up, Tetsu? Are you done?" And he's the first to get up and say, "No, one more ball." And then what does that do? It reinvigorates all of
Hmm.
his other teammates, and now they have a second wind as well. Lead by example. So different leading styles for sure. What's up, Mook? Welcome. Hey, better late than never, man. Welcome. So yeah, I think those are like the best leaders. You know he's. I don't know if you know he's the captain of Tato, right? He's not bad. I like him. I like. They're a good battery in my
Yeah,
opinion. I like him too. The lightning shit's funny,
it's
and
it's
that's a
hard for me
45-year-old
to
man. But yeah,
that exactly, bro. I was like, bro, this nigga is not a high schooler. What do you?
he is he
This is a
is
teacher.
40,
He's on the team.
bro. That's the coach. Why the coach playing? Like Inui is not
Bro.
fucking in high school, bro. Is he 25? He got held back 50 times. What's going on?
No 17-year-old looks like that. I've been looking at him like, what? At first, I thought he was the coach. I
So did
was like,
I.
what's he doing?
I was convinced he was a coach. Like it's not. Oh my god, he looks like he's that boy got a mortgage, wife and kids. Like, oh shoot. But no, they're another battery that I like a lot. Miyuki, Furia, and or Sawamura, Harada, and Mei. Honestly, May in the first year isn't bad, but I think May is the one that kind of leads that. I think the first year is trying to keep up. I even think I saw him twice miss a catch as a catcher. I don't think I saw Harda ever do that. So plus Harda was older than May. So because he had the like Japanese seniority on him, right? He could keep May in check in a different way better. Like I don't get the like little pun thing. He walks up to him to like timeout and he says something stupid. I don't know if that helps, but I think May got better at keeping his ego in check himself. With I think Howard did that before he was able to do that himself. Because I remember one point I think the coach after they lost, I think he blames him or says something about him, and May steps to him, was right in his face, and stops. And I'm like, you see, you gotta you gotta deal with that. Get that
Nah,
out of
because
here.
he
Yeah,
was
yeah.
right.
No, he knew, but he knew he was right too. He's like, fuck. You know those ones where you're
Hmm.
cheese, you're mad, and you're like, ah, we're like, damn, they're not wrong though. I can't do that. Let me hold that out. So yeah. Do you have a favorite pitch? A pitch that you
Yeah, I
like to see?
like that. They lost so early
Hmm.
after Harada left the team, because that's when it put into perspective for me how good of a leader Harada was. Yeah, at first I wasn't really processing that because I was like, "Oh, they the ops, fuck them. They beat the
Yes.
third years. I
Yeah.
want them to lose." But
Yeah.
then
Yeah. 100%. 100%. Oh man, that shit was funny. How do you feel about the match, the last match of match two? I've seen people say they were disappointed with it, but I loved it personally. Um, it comes across to me that it kind of I could see someone thinking it ended abruptly because I'm gonna be very honest with you. I don't think that's the best match of Act Two, but I didn't dislike it, and I don't have a problem with the ending. Plus, fuck them, lose revenge, right? So like, I felt vindicated in a lot of ways, but
nah, they couldn't beat them 3 years in a row. Not
yeah,
3 years. No, not three
yeah.
years.
Yeah, but you're not the only person I've seen that comment a little bit myself, where people were like that last match wasn't really moving them like that, and I'm like, I wonder if it's because they wanted a super fantastical mega whatever ending, but I think he just kind of ends up pitching. I think they scored one more and he just closes it out and ends, so it's done. But it did. I could see why someone thinking it was a little bit abrupt though, but uh I didn't dislike it. I think that's a good segue into our favorite matches though. Because without, I'll say this, like I'll kind of give you my five, but I'll say this: I think the best match in Act Two is Sita versus Sanko with Amahisa Boy. I think
I
that's the
think
best
so.
match. I think that's the best match in Act Two personally. That's my well,
Oh,
that's my
Ishida Sanko. Yeah,
that's my favorite one. That's my favorite one at least. I think I got the right. I
I,
think I got
I
the right.
agree. I agree.
Yeah, that because my I guess my hot take is I think he's on the same tier as Hongo and May. I'm not saying he's better than them, but at worst he's the third pitcher in the series in my opinion. I think he proved that to me. With his slutter,
I
I love
agree.
that. I think he's so nice. Like he's nice, bro. I really think he's that dude. The improved cutter has my favorite pitch when Kosei first saw it and started fanboying. Beautiful. Yep. The best match in Act 2 was the semifinal with Amisa do for you. I feel that. That's exactly what I was saying. I haven't dived into the story yet, but hear the vibe. You got to get at some point, Skull. Be different. I think you'll like it. But yeah, because I was saying to me, the best pitchers are Mei, Hongo, Amahisa. I would put Furia and some I guess Samura there. I have Mukai in the race, but I want to see him. I think they made Koshian. I think they told me. I think if I remember correctly. So if we continue, I want to see how he does there in the biggest stage for me to kind of solidify those thoughts. But Amahisa is sick. That the first time he threw that like whatever like I think they first called it a slide cutter, but they call it a slutter after. I'm like the way they do like the gyro spin. I'm like, what the fuck did he just throw? Say yo, what's going on? That was sick. I love it.
Nah, bro. During that match, when Ichidai took the lead and Sanada held his fist up, my heart sunk into my ass. I was like, no, not again.
Mm.
I was like, not again. You think it's about to lose again, bro? Don't do this to me, bro.
I
I
was,
was so scared.
oh,
I was like, oh no, they're gonna beat them. Oh my god. I was on the edge of my seat.
that was a great match though. That semifinals was incredible. Oh my god.
It
Other
was
than that,
battling.
yeah. Other than that, fall tournament, Yakushi versus Sato. I actually like the Japan versus USA game, and I'll say Taita versus Sato. But Sato versus
Mm.
Inashiro round one with the 30 years with Jun and Yuki and those guys. That's my favorite match in the whole series. Even though it broke my heart.
It's the greatest match in sports manga anime history I've ever had the pleasure of experiencing. It's better than fucking Ippo versus Sendo for the belt.
Jeez.
It is better than fucking Shohoku versus Sano in the final of Slam Dunk. It's better than what's Kuroko school again? Fucking them niggas versus Alameda. I don't remember the school names right now, but it's better than all that shit.
Seigaku? No, that's for tennis. What the fuck?
Huh.
Sadine versus
Shane versus Toad. There we go.
Toho. Yeah, yeah. I was like, no, Seigaku. That's Prince tennis.
It's
It's
better
my favorite
than
sports match, but even my favorite sports match on Prince tennis,
Damon
I think
Devil
this is better. Yeah,
Baz versus Shinruji Naga. It's better than all that
yeah. See, I couldn't remember Kuroko team name for the life of
because
me.
it just
Yeah, man, that match was incredible.
it had the match had everything. Like
Yep.
literally it had the build up, it had the history, it had the backstory between Mei and Miyuki.
Yep.
You see how Mei was trying to form a super team. Miyuki was like, "Nah, I want to beat y'all." I was like, "He's a real nigga." Like
Uh,
that's some real ass shit. It was like, "Team up, nah." Where's the fun in that? I'm gonna
That's why
beat
like
y'all.
Miyuki really does remind me of myself a lot of the times. I'm like, bro, I'm gonna beat you niggas. I want to join y'all. This not fair that way. It's not fun. I mean, come. I said, oh shit, I respect that. He's real. Miyuki. I didn't like Miyuki for a long time, but he earned my respect for after a while. At first, I didn't like him. I was like, yo, put Chris back up. Put Chris back on kitchen. Oh shoot.
Nah,
But
that
yeah,
game it literally had everything. Like that final inning. Oh,
that shit was heartbreaking,
these
bro.
niggas was one out away. Oh my god. One out. To this day, I'm just like, how would the story have gone if they had made it to Cushion that day?
You know what also was crazy? Like the stakes was high and it was tense because I was like, you know, if they lose this, it's not like the other players can't try to come back again, but those third years are gone. And I have personally
Yeah.
felt the void of the third years all the way until the very end of this series because my controversial take, I suppose, is that that's the best version of Sato. Now, other teams had changes and shifts and stuff. I actually think the level of like I think that generation was probably the best generation, just in top to bottom from top to bottom in terms of quality of players like your Hara does and whatnot. Um, and this is what I was telling my friend who I was talking the other day because he's been waiting for me to catch up, right? Because I was saying the reason that I think Sato is did as well as they did now right? It's not because like they're bad or anything. They're still a really good team, but you have to point to how much better Miyuki got at batting. That was a big deal, and he took his role seriously. He did not play around as captain. His self improvement was insane. Sawamura's improvement was insane. And Furia, while he had to kind of regain the Senbatsu kind of like pitching that he had, even him, he grew in a lot of ways. And I feel like those three growing the way that they did. Actually, hold up, Zono as well. Zono. I was saying earlier, Zono was the one player I had no hopes for. And anytime I think he's about to let me down, he actually gets on base. I'm like, you know what? I'm sorry. So he's like my like most improved like player. Whereas like after him with the Shaq, like I'm sorry, I wasn't familiar with like every time I'm like, oh fucking Sono, here we go. He gets on base. I'm like, oh shit. He never call it right. Every time I'm wrong, I'm like, all right. I've never been right once. So that's kind of what I'm saying. Where I think that the team's a little more top heavy now. That's essentially my point. Where I thought as a cohesive unit from top to bottom, they were at their best with the third years. I could be wrong, but that's just how I see it.
Nah, I feel like because that third year squad, right?
Hmm.
They didn't have any holes when it came to batting, and they didn't have any holes defensively like fielding. The
Yeah,
only weakness was the pitching, because
because time was a
Tombo would
bozo.
get down on
Yeah,
himself a
yeah.
lot.
Mhm.
Well, damn, bro.
I'm sorry. I don't
You're
him.
not a bozo.
I'm
Everybody, all the good pitchers of the series compliment to him.
I'm gonna tell you right here, right now. I don't Tanmo and Nori. They don't move me, bro. They don't. Those side pitches not moving me. They solid. They get the job done. But I like
I mean,
him not being on that team to me is not a big deal. I'm sorry. Not just me. Not just me. I'm
I
just
I wasn't as high on Tamba at first until I heard May compliment him. He was like, "But
mm,
he's so good though. If he would just stay more consistent," I'm like, "If May's saying this, then he has to be really good." So I was just like, "All right." Plus,
that's
he did
fair.
close out Yakushi in the tournament, even though he wasn't 100%.
I mean, fair enough. But
But
I
not
just
that was always their weakness.
yeah.
They had an injury bug. That's what fucked them over. So they had to rely on first years.
Hmm. Yeah, Tanaba's also my least
But
favorite
if you
third year.
really look at it, Inashiro went to the finals, and then they lost because May slipped up.
Yeah.
Sato took Inashiro down to the wire. Like, had they beaten Inashiro, they probably would have won that thing.
Did he lose to Hongo?
So
Or
you,
about
yeah,
what team?
yeah,
Okay.
they did.
I guess the it would have been interesting to see what third years maybe Hongo would have had at that point. But I do think they could at least got to the finals for sure. Don't know if they would have won though, but I definitely have belief that they would have got further than they got maybe when they went with the team that they had because I think that was kind of their worst team and this is like the second best version of the team that they've had. Um, so they said, "Damn, not Nori senpai. I like Nori as a character, but as a pitcher, he's okay." I think I agree with that bar. Like, I don't have a problem with him, and I actually respected what he said at the end. He's like, "Bro, I'm not stupid. I know my limitations. I'm not going pro, and I'm not playing like high level baseball after this. I'd rather break my arm pitching right now in high school." And I was like, "Fuck." I felt that. But as a coach, as an adult, I can't let you do that. Now, if you said to me it's captain,
That's
I'd
that
be like,
was that was the realest shit.
yeah, like I'd be like, shh, I got you. All right, all right. Like I was nothing if I was a captain. But if
That-
as a coach, I you reach out to me, as literally as an adult, I can't let you do that to your body. I would never allow it. I'd be like, no, I'd rather lose the game and you have a future. Don't do that to yourself. So,
That was the
but shot,
realest shit he ever said.
yeah.
Nigga said, "I'll put my body on the
Yeah,
line for this shit."
some of those guys knew. They're like, yo, go pro, like dog. This is high school is the limit for me. And I was like, all things considered, I remember growing up with people like that. Because for me, it didn't end there. Because I had my club, I had college, I had semi-pro, like so it didn't end high school for me. I kept going, and then I stopped. So yeah, that's tough. But Yeah, Zono's the player that I was like, I don't believe in him, and I'm like, you know what? I'm so sorry, bro, because I promise you, anytime I'm like, he is literally the opposite of horror for me. When horror goes to bat, I'm like, I believe. I believe, I trust him. He's gonna get on base with that wooden bat. When it's Zono, I'm like, out. Let's go out. He might hit it, but he's gonna get jammed out. But yeah, every time I think he's gonna fuck up, he does his thing though. But do you think that this team with the I guess I'm not gonna go Koshian yet just because I want to add the second the first years that made it, so Wolf Boy and the other catcher, I think, and then Yuki. Do you think this is the second?
Mhm.
Do you think the second, first, or like worst version of Sato that you've seen, in your opinion? Those first years never they never really grew on me. But the one I like the most is actually the mini kid, the other catcher, not Wolf Boy, the other one. He's actually my favorite one out of them. Yuki's brother, he's big, and
Kaoru.
I know he can. Is that his name, Kaoru? Not, I don't know. I think Okamura's Wolf Boy.
Hmm. I
I
think so.
think. I think. Oh well,
Yeah.
Yuki. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah. Yuki doesn't move me because I just like his brother more, I guess, and I don't know. He can bat, but like you said, Yui. Okay, there you go. He's actually not a good fielder. He's fucked up and in crucial moments too, right? So like sometimes he, even though
Hmm.
his batting is so important, you can't put him there because you have to put him to field, and he's kind of not good there. Which is why I used to pick the other guy sometimes. Okay. What's the guy who got dumped by his girlfriend? He got a girlfriend and she dumped him like a day after because she said he was so excited.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't remember his name right now, but it's not
What's
coming
his
to
name?
me. But yeah,
Fuck.
he's there because he's better defensively, not because he's a better batter necessarily. And that's something the coach has to weigh every time. That's all I'm saying. But I'm with you. At the very least, the first team that we got to experience, the only weakness they had was, I guess, no ace. So you had to do a pitcher relay, but they had no holes in their batting or defense. They're all good. They're all solid as fuck. So yeah. I like the shortstop dude with the glasses. Does Mochi wear glasses? What? The cheetah dude? I don't think he wears glasses, does he? Am I
Nah.
tripping?
He's talking about something else. He's talking about someone else.
Oh, okay. Yeah, when I saw Zona was out of the lineup for Koshin, I wasn't surprised. Yeah, I like Yui though. Yui is probably the one because I thought he seemed to be like the all rounder out of all of them. Like he didn't do. I don't think he did one thing. Like I think Okamura is a better catcher, and I think Yuki's a better batter, but he could do a lot of other things at a high level. So in a weird way, I think he's kind of low key the best out of the three of them. But the first years haven't moved me yet, personally. You know who I want to like? Sawamura's roommate, the pitcher. I want to like him. I hope he's low
Oh,
key nice.
the tall one with the glasses.
Yeah, I want to like him. I
Yeah,
do.
I think he's gonna be a late bloomer like Tamba.
Okay, I can see it. That because I don't think Sawamura would be
Because
like,
they said Tamba was the same.
yeah, Sawamura would take him under his wing and try to like really encourage him. I was thinking. So he's talking about Seto. He's a first year second baseman. Yeah. Oh, is he the one of the first years? Is that guy who was also Wolf Boy? They used to be the part of the last to finish the Rice people. Is that guy? I think the right person. Oh, you know what? We got derailed, by the way. I forgot to come back full circle to this. Put a pin in that. If I was the coach, and let's say it's a new year, I don't know what the results are of coaching. Let's say it's a new year. My choice for captain is actually between Haru and Sawamura. I think I'd pick Sawamura though at this point. Someone was
For
saying,
captain.
would it be interesting if Furia like became the ace, but Sawamura became the captain, or vice versa? I guess. But if you had to choose somebody, would you choose? Like, I guess it's not impossible to choose a second year, but I'm sure they'll choose a third year. But I was wondering because I always said with Sawamura, I think by the time he's in his third year, he would have the experience and wisdom of like his first year, 2 years of pitching and being a really good pitcher and respected one. That it wouldn't be it wouldn't be crazy. He's loud, he's high spirited, he keeps morale high, he doesn't give up, he's not a quitter, and he's got good stamina. And I think he could lead by example in a lot of ways like that. The problem will always be that he's kind of stupid, and his IQ for baseball in general isn't that great. So, you have to deal with that. But I don't actually think he'd be a bad captain. He'd be a different type, but I don't think he'd be awful at it. What say you?
I'm actually gonna surprise you. I always thought Zono was gonna be the captain.
Is he a second year?
Yeah,
I thought he was a third
he
year.
didn't make
My
the
bad.
team that first year, but he was on a whatchamacallit? He was on one of the reserves,
Mm-hmm.
and then he made the team the following year when all the third years left and shit.
Why did I think he was a third year? That's my bad then. But okay, because he's the vice captain right now with Kuramochi. I want to say. I think, or at least I think the coach told them to help Miyuki out. I think those two.
Hmm.
Huh.
Yeah, because
But why
Zono's
though? Why
kind
though?
of like
What's your reasoning? What's your
the
reasoning though? What's your
dad of the
reasoning?
team. He's like their dad, kind of like he has the loud voice, but
Mm-hmm.
like he's always concerned for everyone's well being. He's always telling them like what they
Like
need to
not,
do
oh,
to
like with
improve and stuff
Nabe.
like that.
Because like when Miyuki told Nabe to
Hmm.
quit, then if he wants to quit, I guess he's like he moved on. He's like, bro, how could you say that to him? Fair enough. Fair enough. That's interesting. Salmore would need a more stern vice captain, but I definitely think he could make it work. I think that makes sense. Like get somebody to kind of be able who could rein him in that he respects. Maybe Haru. What if Haru becomes more like his brother? He's just meaner. He's like, all right, Arjun, shut up now.
Every time he acts like his brother, he's like, "Oni-chan."
Yeah, right.
This should be killing me.
Nah, you guys understand how much life his commentary from the fucking the dugout gives me, bro. When he's like, "Now behold the golden legs of Cheetah Sama." I'm like, bro, shut the fuck up and just warm up. I love him so much. This is our new black angel. Ever since he's cut his hair, Haru, the man that I put my faith in. That bro, he's so funny, dog. He kills me. There's our silent assassin. He doesn't say much. You never know what he's thinking. And remember when Shirasui actually like yelled? They're like, he yelled. He definitely yelled. They're all like, yo, he yelled. Like, yeah, this manga is so funny for no reason. It has no business being this hilarious. But yeah,
You
yeah.
know what's funny? Because Shirasu was on the team when the third years was there, and they act like they didn't know he was there. Like, bro, he's been
uh,
here for a minute.
he really has been. I'm late, but how y'all doing? We're good, bro. Yeah, he makes so much better. You know what else made me laugh? When Yuki hit that home run and they're all doing the silent treatment, but I think Okamura forgot to tell Sawamura. So he's like, "Yo, he's a first. Why do you guys acting? He's like, why y'all acting like this?" I said, "Bro, don't kill me." Nah, that team was funny, bro. Because they all just looked deadpan straight. They didn't say nothing when after he came back from his home run. I was like, "Oh shoot." Did he fuck up? I was confused for a second too. Like, did something happen? Did he fuck up? Did he like miss a base or something? Didn't they say Raichi one time hit a home run and got too excited he missed a base and didn't count or some shit like that? Something like, damn, did he fuck up his run? So Raichi's my son. That's my son. My money tree. Yeah, but
That's
I
a
said
big ass bet that nigga was doing.
honestly, and like him and he's like the only person I think the only other person I think I saw it from was Yuki's little brother, Tetsu's little brother. Where like when they swing the bat, it has this specific effect and sound. Like other batters are good, but
Yeah.
they make like that like the wind like they like oh shit like when they hit it they smack it.
Yup.
They smack that shit. So yeah
Like
uh,
when whatchamacallit, I still remember when he was trying to get the timing for Sawamura's pitch right, and he hit it the first time, but he
mhm.
didn't hit it right. He was like, "No, it's like this," and he was like, "No, like this." I was like, "Oh shit! Now don't pitch it to him again. Walk him." I was like, bro, I said, "Don't pitch it to him again." Bro.
I'm crying because I've definitely been like, yo, just walk that nigga, please. There was one point I can't remember. There's a couple of times where I'm like, I don't know what I would do, but I'm like, yo, walk that nigga, bro. There was that one guy who talked to his bat. I'm like, nah. After that, nah, he's insane, bro. Walk him. Said, bro, you talking to the bat? I'm scared. Walk. Ball, walk. Why is he talking to his baseball bat? I'm scared. I don't want these problems, bro. He talking about, oh yes, that's what you want to do. You want to hit it out the park? I'm like, oh nah, he he's unhinged. He's he's different. Oh shoot, man.
Oh man.
I need Yakushi to make it back to Koshien again. If you get Act 3, I need that before I get to
It's
some.
hard though, bro,
Yeah,
because their region is so stacked.
but they got invited that after that one tournament last time when they lost, so that could happen again. Worst case scenario, I think. You know.
Yeah, that's the fall invitational. That's after the Koshien tournament in the summer, which is the main one.
Oh, true. Oh, sure.
Yeah,
Oh,
they be
yeah.
having 3
Mhm.
tournaments.
Yeah,
Honestly, I'd be like, damn, they be playing a lot of ball.
yeah. Because there was one I think there's one we didn't see, right? Isn't that didn't Ono say that he fucked up because he didn't catch Fudia's pitch in the Jenga tournament, something like that? I don't think we saw that though, if I remember correctly. I could be misremembering that. It's the other pitcher,
I think it's the one in the spring.
the other catcher. Yeah, I think there's one we didn't really see like that, but since there's more people here and y'all are actually talking, what do you I'm gonna repeat the thing that I started with because I thought there wasn't that many people here. No one was saying nothing. Did you guys ever hear the rumor essentially that when Terajima, it's Terajima you said it, right? That's the mangaka's name.
Hmm.
Um, when he was originally making it, he wanted Raichi to be the MC. I'm just curious on people's thoughts if Raichi was the main character, how do they think the story would have played out, and we actually followed Yakushi? Would it be as interesting, more interesting, less interesting, similar as interesting? Maybe a side story or something. Like I'm just wondering about that because I can't stop thinking about it. Cause I'm like, damn, I would have loved that probably. But I'll get to this part. So I want to talk about some of the best. I guess I'm not gonna go too into it because we're gonna do a stream where we do this by position. I think I want to do best batteries. I think I'll do best teams, best batteries, best catchers, best leaders, best batters, best pitchers. Probably leave it at that for the most part. Maybe we'll do like best I don't know outfielders. I'll think about that. If there's a way to like to demonstrably discern who kind of the best ones are in the outfield. But I think the three
Hmm.
best pitchers are May, Amahisa, and Hongo. I actually do personally have Amahisa second, but I think third is probably where he should be though. What say y'all? Who y'all think the 3 best pitchers are in your opinion? I never heard of that, but Summer wasn't my son, so I prefer this timeline. Fair enough. I think it could be as interesting. We just don't know a lot of the personalities of a Yada Yakushi. I love Samar too much. The reason that I say that I think it makes sense, even though I couldn't I couldn't find any official statement, is because I think Sawamura and Raichi have the most commonality and overlap in terms of personality. They're both a specialist at something. Raichi's a great batter. Sawamura's a great pitcher, but they're kind of trash at baseball in every other aspect, and slowly but surely get better at them as they join their current school. And they're very loud. They're constantly making really stupid and dumb mistakes, and you've seen how the team and interpersonal relationships around them grow slowly but surely get better to the point that Sawamura actually has the support of his peers in his school, and so does Raichi because he's actually pretty quiet in class. Like they're actually very similar. So I actually think that it's probably true that he had that in mind. But we'll never know, I suppose. But you said Mei Hongo Kosei. Kosei is Amahisa. That's the first name or other name. That
Hmm.
okay. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
that's the first name.
I asked a question because I find that most people have Foodie on the top 3. So especially
Well,
if he
his
was going
his
against Hongo.
potential would put him
Yes.
there.
Yes, for sure. Okay.
It's
And a
just
lot
that he lacks in consistency.
and a lot of people have Hongo first. More when I talk to people, a lot of people have Hongo as the best. I'm not mad at that though, because ultimately you gotta beat the best to be the best. But from what I remember, what did Hongo throw aside from like the 150 plus fastball? What was his special his
He
breaking ball
throws a
again?
fork ball.
Fork ball. That's what it was.
Hmm.
Where May the reason why I think May's better is because May has I think May has at some point pretty much thrown everything.
Yeah, May. It's one of those all around versus sheer dominant type arguments. So
Exactly. Fair
May can
enough.
throw any type of pitch you want him to throw, and he has a really strong fastball. But Hongo's fastball is out of this world. So If you're trying to get a hit on that, good luck.
It's similar. It's actually similar to how I see Furia and Sawamura. I think I don't
Yeah,
like necessarily think one is like demonstrably better than the other one. You can decide that for yourself. But Sawamura has a variety of ways to deal with you. He's got his evolving fastball, his custom fastball, his cutter, his changeup, the two seam. There's one I think I'm forgetting one important one, but he has different ways and varieties of
two
dealing
seam
with
and a
you.
four seam. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where Furia it's fastball, vertical slider, but that fastball is 150 plus, right? So what he does at such a high level, it's hard to stop him. But he doesn't actually have a variety of pitches. He does like two things. That's all I'm saying. So that's and I think for me for something like this, I guess because like pitching is it's about precision and control, and I think you should have a variety. I think May is the best pitcher. I guess you could say Hongo's the greatest, but May maybe the best, most talented. I don't know. I think that makes sense to me because like
Yeah,
I think of like
that sounds
Giannis.
right.
Like Giannis not gonna in and out, tween behind the leg, spin, turn around, fade away 3-pointer. He's just gonna euro yam it on you, and it works. It's effective. It's efficient. Stop it. You can't, and I have no problem with that. So yeah, they say May you Clockwork Hongo from what I can tell anime only. Okay, Clockwork is interesting. I know he's up there. He's very good. They won with the pitcher
That's
relay, so that's why they had some Sado comparisons. So I've always had May top one. Okay. But isn't Hongo? Is Hongo's is the same year as Furia, right? The same year as Samura Furia, right? Isn't thing 1 year older? I mean, May's 1 year older than them. I think. I don't remember if I'm right on that. I could be off.
Yeah. May is the year older.
Yeah.
He's the same age as Miyuki.
So I think it's probably impressive that Hongo was even pitching in his first year at Koshiendo. So, but your point is well taken. They did say they had a pitcher relay. I'm not gonna take that away from him. But I think in the second year he proved that he's that guy. Have you ever seen a ball roll in the white snow? Have you ever seen a man who sold his soul to what do you say the baseball god or devil of a man who sold his soul to baseball? Bro, he said we didn't come here to have fun. We came
Bro,
here to take the championship banner. He said, "Oh my god, he's nice."
that that is, I lie to you not. Not just sports anime. That's like one of the most chilling moments I've ever seen in an anime. Period. Like
Mm.
I'm watching that show. I'm like, this is how we starting off Act Two. like, like, everything just went blank. All you saw was snow falling. So they can start monologuing. I'm like, bro, what is going on? I'm just so confused. And they win the game, and the coach don't even compliment him. He's just like, whatever. And I'm like, bro, what?
You think I'm impressed because we won a treble?
Like, what do they do over there?
I'm like, bro, what's good with him? He said, "Change me as a
Find
person
out
to
more about
Ra."
the school. Like
Go ahead.
the the coach be motivating him by telling him he's some shit. I'm like, bro, what?
It's fucked up. That's so fucked
Nigga
up.
saying, oh, y'all want coach here? Y'all thought y'all was the shit, huh? He said they couldn't touch the ball for a week. I'm like, what? I didn't practice baseball with no ball.
Yo, bro, it's strengthen the body, strengthen the mind.
Coach is actually insane.
I would not play for that nigga. Shut the fuck up. I would not play for him. I actually think Sato has the best coach. I do. Well, he's my favorite. I'm gonna say that. I could play for him. And basically what I'm saying. Um, Shogun, boss. He could be my coach. He's fine. I like it. Um,
First time Saramura called him Shogun, I had to stop the episode because I was fucking dying. That was
now when the
gay.
crowd heard him call him boss, I started howling. I said, "They're like, bro, what? That's old fashioned." I said, "That's hilarious." He's so unserious. He's the goat though. It's just like there's just something about like I said. I just every time that man is about to take the mound and take the stage and he's pitching well, I just get so fucking hype. Like I really root for him for Sawamura. Like I root for that man. Like I want him to succeed. I want him to be great, bro. Kataoka, my goat, your husband. That's me, fair enough. I actually don't dislike old Dai, the other coach. I don't dislike him. He's different. He's more of a different type of coach. He's very pragmatic in a lot of ways and whatnot. He's not like a person who's swayed by emotions like that. Um, I don't dislike him though. I will say the funniest thing I could think about him is that I completely forgot he existed. When I started rereading Aquin, I'm like, oh shit, I completely forgot this nigga was here, bro. Like when I saw him there with his chin, like, oh yeah, the other coach that's supposed to replace him. I totally forgot about him. I don't hate him though, but I do think he almost fucked up the team a little bit in terms of some of the things he told the players individually. But what he told Cheetah was right. Stop being a switch hitter because you think it's cool, nigga. Bat properly. What the fuck? We're trying to win. Get on base. That shit pissed me off. He's like, oh, I want to be cool. Haru actually, I think, bats better with the wooden bat, so it's fine. Let him use the wooden bat. So yeah. Oh yeah, who y'all got winning between Ugamori and Tato? The manga is going to draw this at some point. I hope that Tato wins. I hope Tato wins because Mukai is my personal favorite pitcher because when he's like nine zones, nah. Then it went 3D and it went. I said, oh shit, he's different. And I like
Yeah,
Inui. I like their battery.
he took that shit to the next level.
Yeah. So that's my boy. So I hope they make it. Ugamori has the dude with the pompadour and the scar on his eye. I like them though, but nah,
Yeah,
no, not over
he's
Tato.
a delinquent.
Not over the lightning with Inui. The lightning fucking kills me, bro, every time. So that 45-year-old man playing high school baseball. Oh man. So yeah. Is there anything else I haven't written down here that I want to talk about? No, I think. Okay, so it's like a grown man with a mortgage, exactly. So I'm hoping we get an Act 3. I don't actually think Act 3 needs to be that long, and I would like it to go into their 30 years and maybe not necessarily beyond, but at least have like a whatever. Like what did they go do? What and go do after high school? What schools they go to? University? Do any of them go pro? Does Chris Senpai go pro? Like stuff like that. I'd like to see. I don't think it needs to be that long, but if you had an Act 3, like I guess aside from finishing the year off and seeing who wins this Koshin and whatnot, like what are some things you would like to see? Would you be interested in more first years? Do you think that some of the first years that weren't on the team will make it now, like the glasses guy and the pitcher that lives in Sawamura's room? Like, what are we thinking? If you have any ideas, because I'll say this one thing that I would like to see: I want Yakushi to make it all the way to Koshien this time. I don't want them to lose in the tournament again. I want them to get their last actual goal to try to win Koshien.
Hmm.
Mm.
There's so much. I mean, I kind of want Ichidai to advance too, because they've been
On the
getting
precipice. Yeah.
absolutely railed. like,
Yeah.
like every year, it's always something, man.
Yep.
And uh, but I really like Yakshi, so it's like, you know. And then, of course, I'm curious to see what Inashiro is gonna do with their little fledgling pitcher that they got that was May's understudy. I
Oh
wonder
yes.
how they're gonna cultivate him.
Yeah, he's also he's tall too, if I remember correctly.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's nice. Yeah, you're right. I like to see how some of those. There's another. I think There's another pitcher that was a first year from. I think actually this was in Act One, but he was kind of chub. He was kind of chungus. It's the idiot who shaved his eyebrows. He's like, these don't look cool. Like, no, you look stupid. I'm
Oh
trying to
yeah,
bad.
yeah, yeah.
I wonder where what school was he on at
He's in a
but-
different region though, I think.
Oh, okay. Never mind. All right, fair enough. But you know
Yeah,
what I'm
because
talking
they
about
they
though.
came over for a friendly. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Was it Sensen? Is it Sensen? Let
Sansan
me
is the
look this
team with
shit
the
up.
really tall guy. What's the picture? Like the super, like the six, like the NBA height one, I think. But I don't remember the team. But I know it's in my picture gallery somewhere. Let's see.
Oh no, it's not Sensen. Yeah, you're right. That's the one with the tall guy. It's fuck. What's the name of that school?
His name is Sunematsu Ogawa. I can't see. I don't. I can't see his jersey in this panel, but you'll find it. Yeah, Ogawa Sunematsu, Tsunematsu. What the hell is with your eyebrows? There's barely any eyebrow left. Don't like it? He's like, what's left to like? He's like, huh? You don't like it? It's like, bro, what's wrong with him? Such a fool. Is that Seiko? Is that Seiko really? It's the batter the school with all the batters, the buff batters. Was it really that school? Isn't that Seiko? Am I tripping?
Oh yes, yes, there it is. It is Seiko.
Okay. I like to see him again and see where he's come along and that team and stuff. I put Seiko and it give me Diamond Watch when I put Diamond. Diamond no ace. No wear watches and I can't afford diamonds. All right. Oh, it is that
That's why
school.
I was confused because they played Sen. That's why I was mixed up.
Yeah, but I don't remember him. Why don't I remember Ogawa having any real presence in that rematch though? For some reason, am I tripping? And am I did not pay attention? Because I just remember all the buff batters getting their ass beat. Oh, my camera died. One sec. But keep keep going. But yeah, yeah, I like to see. Oh, I guess we did see them though. So, but that I remember they're the team that that they always take their shirts off when they bat. I'm like, they like me for real. my shirt, my shirt off, my shirt off. My shirt was never on in high school. I'm on the field with my shirt. It's always fucking off. Want to see Hakuryu in some capacity? All right, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. Would you like to see any of the current players get called up for that thing that Miyuki did with the Americans and whatnot or something? I don't know if they're gonna do another one of those, but if they did another one, or if it's a yearly thing, would you like to see that? Or at least play against a university school or something?
Yeah,
That
yeah. I would like to see what's his name? Mima. I would like to see him.
mm,
That boy Mima, nice.
yep. But yeah, I just do hope we get the next one. But would you, if we never got an act three for whatever reason, would you be mad at how it ended? Would you feel a little cucked, like you didn't get to see it conclude properly, or would you just take it like, they went to Koshian and it's okay? They say Summer to Jay Conrad final battle.
Nah, I mean, well, first of all, don't put that energy out there. We're getting Act Three. It's coming. It's
All right,
just
all right, my
the
bad. All right.
politics of
I'm a
running in a different
manifestation.
magazine is what's.
I'm a manifestation maestro now. All right, my bad. We manifesting Act three.
It'll happen. I don't know when, but we'll get it. But if through some unfortunate stroke of luck we don't get it, I would be a little disappointed. Yes, because the whole purpose of the first two acts was to get there, and just for us to get there and not even see them play a game while they're there, like, oh, can't do that. Yeah, that's not right. It can't
Yeah,
be. Not this way. No. Like
it
I'm
can't
glad they
be.
beat it natural, but no, not like this.
Yeah, apparently he wanted to end it after Act One. That's what I heard through the
What?
grapevine. I have listen. This
He
I'm
would
not.
be a monster if he did that. That would be some monster behavior.
I'm crying. No, that would be it. Don't do that. But no, I think we'll get it. But I don't think it's gonna be as long as Act Two. I think it'll be shorter than Act Two. Act Two was shorter than Act One. I think it'd be the shortest part. But I think we'll get it though. I estimate high 200s, like 200, like
Yeah,
280. I think he can finish it off with that. That's what I'm thinking. Because I don't know if he feels the need to build up every
because
first year
Act
again and
One.
blah 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 yada yada. Like I don't think he's gonna do
Yeah,
all that
yeah,
again.
because
Yeah.
they had to build the universe in Act One,
Mhm.
establish a reason for improvement, add some backstory, lore, all that shit to their universe. Then Act Two, we expand on building it, and then improve upon the characters that we already have, introduce a couple of new ones. So now in Act 3, I think there's going to be a bunch of, well, not a bunch, but like a couple new first years, but they're not going to be explored in depth. And then we're going to be playing in Koshan, of course.
I almost see him like speed running the process. Like, okay, here are the competent first years. Here they are. You'll see them around, and then here are like the two who made the team. Let's make it 20. I guess you could say. So I think he'll just kind of.
Mm.
It's not that like they won't be there and it won't be a thing. He just won't have. He won't feel the need to put so much importance, emphasis, and focus on it. Like he'll probably focus on matches and practice and stuff like that, and transitioning to the third year. I think seeing characters like Miyuki graduate's interesting because he's talking about having to repay his father back and he wanted to go pro, so and getting scouts and whatnot, and characters like May. So I think that's interesting. And then I would like to kind of see one more battle with Salmora's generation in terms of like your Mukais versus your Furias versus even the other guy from Seiko I was talking about. Like I'd like to see that one more time. Raichi, like the last year of high school. Now they're all the third years. Like I really want that, and I want to see them in. I wanted to see them in that in like the top of the hierarchy like senpai role. I want to see them all in it because seeing Sawamura and Furia as like second years has been interesting, and seeing the first years look up to them in the way that they do. Like seeing like Wolf Boy come around in a lot of ways has been interesting to the point that he was even able to get him to do deep breathing. I
Yeah.
There were certain things I just didn't think I'd see him do, but you could tell that he started to understand why he's like good and blah blah. Because like the other little kid Yui, he's different. He's not as like uptight and stuck up and stuff like that. So when he called him over, he's like, "Oh my god!" He's like, "What happened?" He's like, "I forgot to do deep breathing. Do it with me." He's like, he's so stupid. 'Cause if I was Okamura and he called me to do deep breathing, I'm like, "All right, bro, I'm going back to the fucking catch. All right, like do your breathing, nigga. Like I'm not doing this shit." Oh boy. Also, as a complete side note, I laughed at the little side story or little I don't know if it was a side story or like the little extra chat like little extra page where Chris texted Miyuki and saw more like do I look older than I do I look old for my age? 'Cause they thought he was way older than he was for some reason. He's like, yo, why I think I'm like they think I'm like 30. I'm like, dang. Chill on him, bro. He's nice. That's my boy, he nice. And then it's also nice seeing the third years, when the moment the third years acknowledged Salamura too, where Chris was like, I really for the first time got like a deep urge to want to catch for you, and Tetsu was like, I got the urge to face you as a batter, and his aura flared up. Like that's how he shows his respect. Like I like how they have their little ways of doing it. But those brothers are just aura merchants. Just turn their aura on. But little Yuki has to like get better at like other things. Like you can't be that bad at fielding.
Yeah.
So he don't speak much either though. Their personalities are kind of similar, but I'll take the original over the remix.
Yeah.
I will say this though, he's a better batter than his
Like
brother.
his swing is crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
that shit, bro. Oh
I'm not
my
even saying he's
god.
a better batter in terms of like let's say better batter. I mean for the age. I think they said that the third years were pretty bad in the first year, not that good. I'm talking about for like he has a head start on his brother. I don't know who's the best batter out of them right now
Yes.
because while I think things physique and swing is probably better, Yuki's understanding of how to like time it and use his instincts and whatnot is probably much more experienced and well honed. So maybe as a big brother, he's still better now, but thing is thing is better than him for that age though. So
He's
with
in a
with
better trajectory if he
exactly,
continues to improve.
yeah. If he keeps getting better,
Because I remember during Act 1, they would always talk to Yuki about, like, whenever he would hit a home run, they'd be like, "Oh, that's surprising. You don't normally go for home runs often." And he was like, "Well, I felt like my pitchers deserved a break today." Like, he intentionally hits to get on base. He don't give a fuck about home runs, but if he does, it's up.
Yep. Uh, the first time he did that shit, I just leader, fucking Samura leader. Oh, sees Chris Senpai after he pitches a good game. After he's like master. He's like, "Would you cut it out with the master already?" He's nah, master. So stupid. I love it though. I love that relationship. That relationship to me is so fucking special, man. Especially with the way that it started and how far it came. It's just so fucking. It's just so special. Like he just like when he batted him up and Miyuki got pissed off the first time and Miyuki's like, bro, that's the one catcher who's outdone me. Like that doesn't happen too. Like, bro, he tore his rotator cuff when he apologizes to him and he starts trying to overdo it. And he's like, "Hello, Chris F.Y. How are you doing today? Would you like? I stacked your rice up extra high today." He's like, "I'm gonna eat it, but you're annoying." He's annoying me. He comes to the
Nah, it even
classroom.
got to the point where Chris was
Go,
like, "Oh, he's not gonna bother me today."
yeah,
Damn, I was kind of looking forward to that.
right. He's like, wait a minute, my day feels off now that he's that he's not bothering me. And it even got funny when Chris and Miyuki would be there, and he would talk to Miyuki with disrespect, and then talk to Chris with reverence and respect. that that shit was some of my favorite moments. Oh shoot!
You're like, I don't get a set five. Fuck.
Right? He's like, no honorific. Oh
You
boy.
call him by his full name, Ryuki Katsuya.
You know what that reminded me of?
What is wrong with him?
You know, you just reminded me of.
What?
Remember when him and Kuromochi were the same age for 4 days, so he dropped the honorific. And like, as your equal, as being the same age as you, and then 4 days later, once he was older again, he started beating his ass again. I said, bro, that is so fucking funny. Cause that's some shit I would do. Like cause I'm born early in the years. Like, I don't know about you, but we the same age. Senpai? I'm addressing you with a kun. Or oh my goodness, that shit was so hilarious.
The nigga Kurobuchi puts out bro in the walls of Jericho 4 days later, bro.
Yep. Oh my goodness.
It was, you think I forgot that shit you was talking the other day?
Nah, they really got some of the best jokes. I have this one panel here that makes that kills me. Hold on, it says Samura. Have we read this one yet? He's like, it's so good after volume 10. He's like, what about the first 9? And then he's like, well, it's kind of hard to get into, but just read it already. Then he's like, it's important to have a strong start, and he's making a smug face because he's obviously talking about like baseball, like it's a double entendre about starting the game properly. I'm like, I like little clever things like that. That was funny, but he's like, bro, what about the first 9? He said, yo, that is the craziest way to ever suggest a manga. It gets good at volume 10. So I'm like, so you just don't want me to read it then? Because that was the worst thing you could have said to me. What? Then there's the guy from Yakushi, the
Bruh.
other picture where he's like, don't just sit there shamelessly reading Get Up. He's like, no can do. I've already gotten something up. He's like, that's what you get for reading etchy novels in public places. And I'm like, he's me for real. That's me when I was unhinged and now have fucking this is back in the day, I think it was Pururin before Ed Hentai. I had that shit open reading Cheeks getting clapped on the bus. Public transit. Reading dojins on the bus. I was not normal. Because I know people behind me are like, what is this nigga reading? And I'm like, bro, it's hentai. And I don't feel no ways. But sometimes I can't stand up. I gotta wait. Because some stand up. So like that nigga just like me for real. Now this literally
Nah,
is one of the funniest series for me. Mm-hmm.
The funniest moment for me was when fucking what's his name? Their roommate in the first year,
Masuko?
Sawamura and Kuromochi's roommate. What's his name again?
Masuko.
Masuko. There we go. Yeah, but Masuko woke up in the morning and he was groggy and he forgot to put the right
Ah!
slippers on his fucking chin. And he started shaving his head and he placed too much hair. So he went bald and Katanga walked into the room. And then he just got quiet. He was like, Masuko, what are you trying to prove?
Yeah, no, that was so funny because First of all, the coach was like, "Hey, yo, like, this don't make." He said, I think in the anime, he said what you said. I think in the manga, I think it's something like, "This is not going to make you more popular." You know that, right? Or something along those lines. I started dying of laughter. But what made me laugh is because I'm like, I have literally done this, but I did it to my eyebrow. I accidentally held it too close to my eyebrow, and I put a slit in the left one. I remember when I did that. I posted it on fucking Instagram, like my stupid ass accidentally put a slit in my fucking eyebrow because I held it too close to my face, and I didn't realize. So when he did that to his head top, I started dying. He's like, "Well, I can't save this. I gotta just bald it now." So, but he that was funny. That was good. And then thing with Edith's pudding. He's like, "My pudding." And then what's with him like just grunting? I'm like, "Unga," like, bro, speak. Use your words. What's going on? They go, "Unga bunga," and then in brackets,
Ooh, my
very good
son's
pitch,
so fucking
Sawamura.
funny.
Bro, talk. No, I like all the characters who get hype when they score, and because Samuro will celebrate with them. Oh God, that guy! I would love to have Samuro on my team. He wouldn't bother me. I have no problem as long as he's actually that's not true. As long as he's not trash.
That would
Like
be my favorite teammate.
exactly, exactly. Because I don't I think having a guy like that is so good for your team's general morale. I think it's so good. So you
Yeah.
hated that Unga nonsense. It was
Especially since he's
yeah,
the last one to leave the practice field every day.
yeah, yeah, man. I'm so proud of where he came because man, when he was going through his yips and the psychological stuff, when he couldn't pitch inside after that, my heart broke. When he got the ace number, I was so happy. When he pitched that game and got subbed out, bro, I, I held the same pose, bro. I had my head down in the chair, like not like this. I said not like this. I was like, no, I need him to thrive. I'm not trying to have Furia take that mound back right now. Let him, get back into his shape too at some point. But Sawamura actually eventually did get an injury, which is interesting. I think he's the only one who never really got injured until the end there. He got the same thing as Nori, but he's alright though.
I like that Terajima did that though, because it's like obviously when you get elevated to a new position, you're gonna want to try to perform at your best, and then subconsciously you're gonna be straining yourself instead of just letting the game come to you. So I felt like that was really realistic, and it also helped that the rest of the team stepped up to help him. That let me know that we ain't gonna go through no fugazi ass shit if Samura's not on the top of his game. Everybody's gonna be able to hold the fort down,
Yeah.
and they did.
Yeah. And I think what helped a lot too, I guess, and maybe the reason why at least the third years they didn't trip the way that they did was maybe because they're aware of Tanba. Because Tanba's like, oh, bro, the first game was I shit the bed the first time I play as an ace, bro, bad. They're like, oh, really? And they all had their moments. I don't remember if Furia played bad the first time, but I think May was the one who knows like you're crumbling under the pressure of being the ace and trying to do it together. It's so fucking obvious to me because I had the same problem when I in Koshian at one point, so he just kind of walked away. Whereas like the burden of wearing that number
Hmm.
at some point comes to everybody, and especially in crucial games and whatnot. But the point and the idea is to not try to shoulder that blame by yourself. I think what really helped Sawamura personally, and I think if I was feeling that pressure, what would have helped me is if Miyuki's like, yo, not only is like you have all your teammates here, don't do it yourself, but just like the ace has a burden to carry, I have to carry a burden as a captain too. You're not alone in this. I think that helped him a lot.
Hmm.
By the way, his fake growth, I say his fake growth, that's when he starts to talk very eloquently and flowery, always kills me. He's like, I am but a fledgling today on this field. Like, bro, you don't stop speaking like that. As the sun rises, I said, bro, who are you? Why why is he so fake poetic right all of a sudden? That shit is so funny. Oh man. That nigga is such a treat to follow. He is to me the greatest sports MC. And I don't think it's close. But I gotta say my son Ashito, he's second place. He He up there. He got a silver medal. I like him a lot too, man. I like that little nigga. He my son too.
I still was like Samura in a lot of
Yeah,
ways.
yeah. I,
Very loud, energetic,
stupid.
great teammate, put the work in.
Mm-hmm.
Stupid.
They're
If they're
apes.
not playing the sport, they don't know much about it. They just like playing it.
Yep. And this is not a spoiler for you, but like I said, I actually think that maybe this formula works really well, where you're like a big fish in a small pond. Because both of those guys have a talent and ability that they didn't really know themselves like fully, but obviously they're still using it. But they're playing on bad teams in an environment where they're the best, and finally they're get put into an environment where they say steel sharpens steel, where they can actually cut their teeth against the
Hmm.
best of the best, the cream of the crop, and actually get better and make leaps and bounds and strides in their improvement. They're similar in that sense. And I see that overlap. I don't think that they're exactly the same, but they do have commonality that I appreciate that they have. So I totally
Yeah,
agree with that. Totally agree. One thing I love when someone goes, "Oh, sure," and the crowd says it back. Yeah, but as I'm saying, when the crowd starts to get into it, because the crowd starts to like him. That's what I love about it too, because him and Raichi earned the respect of their crowds and whatnot, to the point where like they like hearing his pitcher speech, like a lot of balls are gonna come flying. I hope you guys have my back, blah blah blah, and let's get it popping. They like that. I love it. It's a slope. It's
bro.
an IV drip, but it's the progression is amazing, man. I love that shit.
That oh shit is the greatest shit ever. Because at first they were telling him to shut up. And
Yep.
then afterwards, the nigga bitch just shut up. He'd be like, and then the crowd says it back,
Yep. It moves me
The
tremendously.
first time they did that, I died.
Yep. It reminds me of like, granted, these were a lot of the people who did it. They were my friends, but it reminds me of this one game at in the Ontario Cup at Cherry Beach, right? Because they know I like to hit the gear second pose. And I remember when I scored and I want to do it, I heard them all yell out gear second. I said, "Look at my niggas over there, yes sir." It kind of remind. That's like the closest thing that I have to that. They're like, "Yeah, secondo!" So this is screaming. I'm like, "Yes sir." That was cool. But those were like my people though. Yeah, I'm sure everyone else like, "What the fuck are they yelling? What the hell are they talking about?" Oh man. But yeah, I'm happy that I'm caught up and stuff. You guys are gonna get the ranking streams for all the stuff and everything. The next thing I'm gonna tackle is Slam Dunk, and then I'm gonna take a small break in terms of like getting these lists ready, because I want to do High Q and Ice Shield later on in the year, but I'm thinking doing that more so like like seventh month of the year, something like that. So I'll get to those, but I am. I have been enjoying reading these sports series, even Blue Lock, all things considered. Even though I think it's mid that hits, or mid that I understand why people like it, I've been having a good time reading these. But I'll ask you, it's the one, it's the one, it's the one.
I'm trying to read it, but I'd be tired when I get back from work. I'll be reading and I fall asleep. And I wake up and I'm like, fuck! I was supposed to read today.
I'm gonna watch it actually.
Like,
So that's I'm gonna watch it.
yes,
I put the straw
yes,
I put the
yes.
straw hat on. I got the episodes up to the latest one. I think I might be maybe one or two behind, but so I'm gonna try to get on that, because one of my friends, he's interested in trying to get into sports stuff. So I was thinking about starting with this or Dino Ace. We'll see, but because he hasn't really tried anything that's sports related. Uh, I guess because he's been seeing me tweet about it, he's
I
like,
will
I'm
say
interested.
that Ao Ashi's anime, the animation quality and level is not on the same level as Daiya, even though it's both by IG for
Mm.
whatever reason. But it has a lot of really good moments. Like it's not bad, but it's not elite. Now, Blue Lock's anime, I'm sorry, bro, the animation is elite. I wanted to hate on it. I'd be like, y'all niggas couldn't be watching this shit. I'm watching this show. I'm like, all right, I get it.
I haven't seen the anime, but I'm guessing. But I've heard
Like,
the anime is
damn.
very
I wanted
is
this
very
kind of
exciting.
animation for Awashi.
Uh,
Like,
Dang.
bro, I'm over here like trying to watch it with a negative mindset, try to like critique and shit like that. And I'm
Mm,
watching this show like, bro, character models slapping, animation slapping, fucking soundtrack hitting. I'm
mm.
like, they got the formula right. Damn.
No, I know those ones are like, fuck, I can't even hate. That's crazy. I gotta eat this. No, it's like what I said with Blue Lock, like
Like I,
with me, like I'm not gonna spoil anything, but when I read it, I do think like the visual flair and presentation is actually really good. And when Isogi's trying to like when he's like thinking about the game, and I don't know if the anime does this, but the manga, like the puzzle pieces are like flying around and stuff like that. I'm like, this is
yeah,
actually really
the
good
anime
visual.
does that. Yep.
There's actually really good visual representation of like what's going on in his head. I really like it. I can't even hate. That's why I feel you. But
Anime does that, and it does it really well.
mm,
I
so now,
it just it took a while for me to quote enjoy it because everyone around Isagi was like really talented, and
mm,
Isagi was just a volley merchant, but he uses his brain. And
mm,
I'm just like, if you can only score on volleys, then what good are you? Like, bro, you know how hard it is to set up a situation like that in a real game of football?
I'm saying, listen, all the only the,
But
I
then
only have
he
one.
actually started to get good. So I was like, all
Yeah,
right.
yeah, he gets a lot better from the part we are at. But I've only ever had one. I only ever really have one strong statement about Blue Lock, and that is that Barrow is trash. He's fucking garbage. Okay, that's it. Everything else, you think it's a good, think it's
Barrow,
bad, whatever. I don't care. Yeah, the king, whatever. He is the worst player in that facility. He is fucking garbage. I do not respect him. I do not rate him. He is not raw. He is not sick. I don't know how far you are with it, so I'm not gonna go into detail. But he is trash. He's fucking garbage, and he's always in the loser block because he gets the ball, he passes it. You pass the ball to him, he's not passing it back to you for any reason. And he's not good. He's not getting past anybody.
yeah.
Charging dribbles, suck
You
my
don't pass
dick.
the ball back. I'd be like,
Yeah,
bro.
he's a stupid player, and he's not good enough to play like that. If he was fucking Erling Haaland and winning games and scoring 26 goals per heartbeat, all right, what the fuck could I say? But he's not doing that. He's getting 10 goals, sure, but your team lost. Waste of my fucking time. Don't respect that shit. I hate him. He sucks. I'm sorry. And anytime he has to play with somebody with a similar physique, he's
Uh-uh.
weaker. He's weaker than them. This guy's so fucking trash. Sorry,
Fuck
I don't rate him.
with him, but like he does get on my nerves when he don't pass the ball because I'm just like, bro, you can't play soccer like that. Like, you have to pass the ball. I don't care how much of a talented striker that you are, you're gonna have to pass the ball. Like that's just the nature of the sport.
No, he
The
gets it.
fact
He
that he
goes
just
forward.
keeps that shit,
Yeah,
I'm just like, nigga.
like
And he talking about something. If I pass the ball, I'm gonna ruin my style of play. They're gonna give it back. Like, bro, relax.
stupid.
But I will say that chop dribble was moving me though. That nigga went through the whole team. I was like, oh shit,
I don't remember that in Block Z at the
that
beginning
shit was moving me.
when they were still trash.
No, that's
No,
in the 3v3 with when they was playing against Kunigami, Rail, and Shigiri. That was the last episode when he did all the chop dribbles and then he scored the winning goal.
okay. I come back and he's speaking on Barrow. Why ruin your mood like that? It's not. It doesn't ruin my mood to fucking pack that nigga up. It makes me happy because he stinks. I want everyone to know he's not that guy. He sucks. He's fucking shit. I would not pass him the ball. I'll look at him. I would purposely just I'd make it so obvious that I'm not passing the ball to him. Like just so he knows. That's how much I don't rate him. I don't care about his individual skills. I'm not an idiot. I know that he's like better than a lot of players legitimately. Actually, my point is he's not good enough to not pass the ball back to anybody the moment he gets it. Why the fuck does he play like this? And he's always in loser blocks because of that. It's not like he's winning. It's not like he's so good that he's carrying. He sucks. He's stupid. He's a stupid. That is low IQ. I don't like low IQ players. He's dumb for playing like that. Fuck you. You can't play on my team. He's shit. Niggas on Twitter like,
Yeah, his
oh,
IQ is
wait till you
pretty
see
low.
whatever. I'm like, I'm caught up. He's trash. What? You thought I was talking about the anime? Oh, wait till no, I saw everything. I saw everything he does. He's still garbage. My favorite player is somebody you haven't seen yet. But that being said, don't come to me with that shit.
Oh, interesting.
He's not raw. I don't like Rin either though. But Rin's good. That's the difference. He's good, but I don't like him. But he's good. His brother is fucking nice. Oh my lord.
How you feel about Nagi?
This Trapper, he's probably the best. I think he's the best player from Block Z. He's a walking cheat code because I'm a fucking genius. I trapped a ball. I fucking do this. I'm like, so I think it's nonsense. As someone who understands the game, he's literally walking nonsense to me. But he's actually like really good though. So him and Rio were like a good combination.
Nah, that first touch is crazy, man.
Yo,
If I played with somebody that had a first touch like that,
I would
or
obviously
if I
it's
played
not to
against
this
somebody
level.
like that,
Yeah, it's obviously not to that level. But my striker in college, Austin, he had a first touch that made no sense like that. Like I remember sending him pretty decently hard passes, and he would just kind of catch it in his foot and heel, well, not foot and heel, foot like just catch it, and it'll just like literally stop it. I'm like, what the fuck? Like that nigga's first touch is
that makes
incredible.
me think of in the beginning of Aoashi when they was trying to teach this nigga Ashito to fucking kill the ball when you receive it, and he couldn't do it. I'm like, bro, how did you play soccer this long in your life without knowing how to do that?
It actually shocked me. I'm like, wait a
I
minute.
was so confused.
I'm like, yo, he's
I
ass.
thought the mangaka was fucking with me.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna go into great detail. But I think the issue is that it's not that he literally can't do it, but he can't do it at their level. That's kind of how I started to take it later on. I don't know if it's
Yeah.
literally, but it's like he's not doing it right and fast enough for the level that he's at. It's like the equivalent of me needing like 4 touches every time to make a pass, but I am in situations where I constantly need to make a one-touch pass. You get what I'm saying? As you go higher up in the level, certain
Mhm.
shit's not gonna fly anymore. I think that's really what it was. But I was dying too because I'm like, bro, you don't know. Even with Summer, like you don't know like these basic things. Like, damn, that's crazy. Like, you was really, really a big fish in a small pond, just not knowing how to play the game like that. That's fucking wild. But granted, that reminds me of me. That reminds me of the first time I was playing basketball, like for the first time in the 7th grade, and bro, it was
Mhm.
news to me that on defense I could not stand in the key. I had no idea I could not do that shit. You know how many defensive 3 seconds in the key I got called the first year I played basketball? Like, like twice per quarter. No cap. Yo, I was like, fuck, I forgot. I forgot. Like, I think step 1, 2, 3, come out because I played center, right? So I'm like, I'm in the paint, and I'm like, why I gotta do this stupid ass counting shit? I hate this. This is a stupid rule. Remove this from the game. And it took it
It's
took me like a
funny
year to
because
unwind it to get that out of my head. Yeah, go ahead.
if you was playing in the '80s, you would have been fine. But ever since they changed the rules, they was like, nah, no, 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 you can't do that no more.
Yeah, that shit was funny
Wait, I
though.
have a question.
What's up?
Oh, it's Miles.
Yeah, I've been here for a while. What's up, Pat? It's been a minute.
It has.
Uh, Wait, has Sourmore played baseball since he was a kid? Did they ever state that? Did they ever?
I don't know how long he literally been playing, but he's been playing like up. I would say I'd argue maybe like what 8 to middle school at least.
Well, we know
Yeah. Okay.
he played all of middle school. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I feel like middle school is usually like the sweet spot in which most people, not most, a lot of people start their athletic career. So I feel like,
Sports journey.
yeah,
Yep.
so I can see why
is that
Sourmore
common with
died.
baseball though? Just out of curiosity, because for football, you're honestly much younger. You start at like 4. I'm not kidding. I really mean that.
Baseball has like I know they have like those.
You get
I
put to
can't
an
think of the name
academy at like
of
8,
the
La
leagues.
Masia type beat. Sorry, I like that. You go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I think there are like leagues I know where kids do stuff, but that's like every sport. But I don't know. Maybe I feel like in America, like that, like 11 is usually like that really good sweet spot, and like most people really start their sports.
Mhm.
I'm trying to think of like stuff like you like fuck what's the huge league summer league I for track it's USATF and something else. Is it just UCAA?
I don't know.
When I say
Mm,
UCAA, no, I'm sorry, I'm
I don't.
tripping.
I don't. It,
NCAA, but that's more college. I'm blanking right now,
for
but
track, I wouldn't. For track, I wouldn't know because over here in Canada, the club that I ran for was literally called IB Fast. So they were called,
That's
and other than that one year, I never ran with them again. I did that track club one time, and other than that, I only ran for school. So up until the ninth grade,
yeah,
then I lost and I quit. So
yeah, that's fair. I feel like just in general, high school is really where you get that technical stuff down because low key when you're younger, you're just coasting by it by just pure whatever physical skills you have. So most niggas just don't know what they're doing. So sophomore coming into high school and being like, "Oh, I can do that." I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah, you really don't know."
suppose it's not that crazy. I think the problem is like him and Ashito don't know like certain things. I'm like, this is too basic not to know. Like you could pick this up just playing tickle butt baseball, tickle butt soccer. Like I guess that's what threw me off because I'm with you. I was a dominate the game with my athleticism until I was like 15. And my coach was like, "Bro, your left foot is so ass. I need to fix that." My coach just started doing the most to make my left foot and get me more technical. By the time I was 17, I had technical skills, but before that, it was speed, size, physicality, explosiveness, jumping over everybody. They couldn't catch me, shit like that. And I didn't get tired.
See,
Stuff
I
like
was the
that.
opposite. I had no physicals, so I was all technical till I got physical.
I always hated playing players like that when I was younger, because I didn't respect you guys, and then I'll be like, oh shit, they're nice. Like, oh my
Thank
goodness.
you? Question mark.
No, I had a bad habit of judging a book by its cover when I was younger. When I was younger, I was very arrogant. Like I'll never forget this. I got called up to this team from my Wexford Firebirds team to a team called Olympic Flame. And I remember one of my defenders, one of my favorite defenders, named Ali. Saw him. It's the very first time I've ever seen somebody have the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar like glasses on for a sport, and I audibly was like, I'm about to cook this nigga. That has to be one of the strongest niggas I have ever met in the history of my life. I I got pushed off off my like positioning so many times. I'm like, bro, I'm to the point where like I'm trying with all my might and I'm as low as I can be to actually like combat with him because I did not take him seriously. He's a great defender. And I actually have a tremendous amount of respect for him. He saved our asses on so many games. But when I first saw him, I laughed. Then one of my good Idris, when I saw him, he was like 5'5". I went, okay. Easily the him and my friend Zach are easily the two people I've met. I think they have
Bruh.
extra lungs. Like they don't
Naya.
they do not get tired. It could be the
Naya.
190th 19th minute, and these guys are doing full pitch sprints, and I'm like, nigga, you guys are not normal. I am tired.
Naya.
Yeah.
Naya. Every time, bro, you talk about yourself when you were young, you unironically sound like an anime villain. Like, nigga, you saying this is like when Frieza's like, I don't train, I'm raw, you monkey. And then Goku pulls out, like, who the fuck is this? And you just start getting worked a little bit. You're like, oh, hold on.
Me underestimating somebody and be like, okay, let me get serious is was pretty common from like 12 to like 16.
You said,
That
I
was,
gotta use my full power.
but I used to do it in the opposite way too. Personally, I never get scared, but I'll look at a player and I think he looks good, and I'm taking him too seriously just based off how he looks. So I've done it in the opposite way too, where I'm taking somebody like, oh my god, he's 6'3", he black, he the goat, probably on that team, and he's ass. I'm like, oh, you're not good. So-
I can see now. I'd be like, you made me waste my energy. I thought you were nice with it, and just start botting niggas.
blow by him and just go. Not enough to reach the apex.
Speak on it.
If I,
Speak on it.
oh God, that's just a bar. No, but I was like that. But then I stopped doing that, and then and I also had a bad habit of playing to the level of my competition. That was something I used to do a lot too. Like I played better against the best teams or teams that we were supposed to be completely outclassed by. I used to go crazy. Then there's
You
a
were
bad team in
devouring
the
them.
bottom of the bracket. I'd be like mid, and I'm like, why am I playing
You
bad?
devoured them. You
Uh,
devoured them. You got that chemical reaction going.
I don't devour nobody. I just play well. You said third log power
Oh,
up. No, I've always said this. With me, I think some people can push themselves really hard for a really long time for like cross country or like a really long track race. That's not me. The difference with me and other people is I catch my breath very quickly. So stuff like wind sprints, I do really well at. So like let's say
You're a
we
recovery merchant.
yes, so like we do a full 100-meter sprint, boom, rest for like a minute, then rest for 50, rest for 40, rest for 30, goes down. I catch my breath the quickest. But if it's just like go hard running for like really long time, I can't sustain that. But I catch my breath very fast. So that was my
Mm.
thing. I get like give me like 10 seconds to go do my more deep breathing. Then I'm good to go. Good to go. So yeah.
my thing was
Gosh.
always whenever I start the game, I would get tired like probably halfway in the first quarter when we're playing football and shit.
Mm,
But my second win would come, and I'm good for the rest of the game.
I feel that.
That's all I needed. Was just I just need my second win. Then we waiting on it and be like, all right, I'm good. I can
I feel
go.
like there's that like what am I trying to think? There's like that like almost like it's not like an overdrive, but you know like when like you get like a perfectly warmed up like body or like it has a good amount
Yeah.
of work from whatever like meet or game you're in and but like it's like no, I really feel like I have like a full another like energy gauge to just go. Like best feeling.
Hmm.
Can't be beat.
Well, I'll say about that for me is it's very rare, but I love games where I come to the game and I have no physical ailments, nothing's bothering me mentally or emotionally, and I come 100% just ready to play. Those are the days where I think I'm the most dangerous, because usually something's bothering me. This is why I always laugh when someone's like, "Oh, like you 100%, you're good to go today." I'm like, I'm never 100%, bro. I'm like 90 at best more often than not. I got some niggling injury or discomfort in my foot or something of the sort because I obviously like because I played a lot of sports and like I was like overly active, I guess you could say sometimes. So, like I was the type of person like okay, so I get up, I have maybe basketball practice for school at 6 a.m. Then I have maybe basketball practice after school, and then after practice I go to my club football. Then I come back and I play basketball on the block, and then a repeat kind of thing, you know. So it's kind of like I was always doing a lot of things. So I was like, the amount of times I've come into any game where I'm like nothing's hurting me is rare, and even sometimes I come to a game where nothing's hurting me, I might be mad at my girlfriend. So like emotionally, something's bothering me. So so it was just rare. So I was like, nah, like, but if I came in, I was 100%. Yo, watch out. And like I said, don't piss me off, you'll lose. But if you get me frustrated or irritated, you'll win. Irritating me is if you could irritate me, you'll win the game. But if you piss me off, you will lose. I play well angry, but I don't play good irritated. So yeah. Anywho,
Uh,
I see Sir Simi is streaming, so we gonna give the boy a host. Thank you guys for joining us
Yeah.
on this Friday for some Dino Ace talk and everything. And I'll try to I'll definitely I'm aiming for Monday, but I will try my best to get the Jojo Lines discussion going sooner rather than later. That's my plan.
uh,
Jojo Jodio
when are you gonna shoot?
Jodio.
When are you gonna shoot for the positions for Diamond LA so I know when to finish by?
March, end of March.
Oh, I got
End of
time.
March.
Mhm.
Oh, I got time.
Uh, don't be like Mr. Incredible now. I still got time. And then there's
Well,
2 weeks
I'm
left, and you're like, fuck.
I mean, I'm well over halfway done with the first one. I'm at like 275 right now.
Oh, okay, making good pace. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's straight.
I believe in him. All right,
This shit kills
y'all
me.
go enjoy
Shouldn't you
Symmetry.
be getting ready?
Mhm.
I still got time.